Welcome to Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken Thursday Night Lights, presented by Cincinnati Area Toyota Dealers. Tonight from Roger Glass Stadium, a GCL matchup between the Falcons of Bishop Fenwick and the Eagles of Chaminade Julienne. Good evening. Thank you for making us a part of your Thursday evening. Matt Digby alongside Keith Byers. We'll also hear shortly from Tej Joshi. The Falcons and Eagles entering this game both with a record of 4-2 and both trying to get back in the win column after a tough couple of results, especially on the road. So Keith, especially because we're now in the second half of the season and getting back into the win column, those opportunities, they're coming fewer and far between. So tonight is a huge contest.
Absolutely. This game is one for the Birds.
Yeah.
We know a team of the Birds would definitely win this game tonight. You know, Chaminade, they're both two identical records, 4-2. So the second half of the season is very important. And I tell you what, I'm excited to be here. It's Thursday night. And like I said at the beginning, I love the Birds. I played for the Falcons in high school and the Eagles in the pros. So I'm here for the Birds tonight.
It's going to be a great game. And as sure we mentioned also, last week the two teams on Thursday Night Lights were trying to get back into the win column after a loss. All Miamisburg and Northmont did was put together an instant classic. So high hopes that Chaminade Julienne and Bishop Fenwick will put together a great game. Time now to introduce the third member of our broadcast team, Tej Joshi. Good evening, Tej.
Good evening, guys. I am pumped for some good football tonight. Lots of energy here on the stadium, and from what I've seen, a lot of that energy right now is coming from the CJ side, from Chaminade Julienne, as it is homecoming weekend right here. Of course, they are pumped for a great game tonight. Now, I want to talk a little bit of football here. We're expecting a big running attack from both teams tonight. CJ known for running the ball, running that double wing offense. Now, I chatted with the offensive coordinator over at Bishop Fenwick, and he mentioned to me now they are also known for the running of the ball, but they're thinking that maybe they want to open up a little bit more of a balanced offense tonight. We're going to have to keep our eyes on all that. Okay, here is the last thing I want to tell you about field conditions. I was out here earlier this morning when it was pouring rain. It is still raining a little bit right now in the pregame, but it should clear up. Might affect the game, might force both teams to run the ball a little bit more. For a full look at tonight's game day forecast, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Natalie Walters.
Well, rain gear may be coming in handy for tonight's game, but temperature-wise, not too bad. We will be tracking those 70s and eventually dropping into the 60s. But again, keep that umbrella handy as we will be looking at a slight chance for a shower popping up through the evening, eventually dropping into the lower 60s with clearing skies, so you may need a jacket through the evening as well.
Thank you, Natalie. Coming up next, the coin toss and the opening kickoff as Chaminade Julienne hosts Bishop Fenwick on Week 7 of Thursday Night Lights.
That's a head, that's a tail. That's a head, that's a tail. You're the visitors, Fenwick. What's your call? Tail. He called tails. It is a head. You've won the toss, sir. You want to receive. He'll receive. Which goal you want to defend? Put your backs over there. Step over here, gentlemen. CJ won the toss. They will receive. Captain, step in. All right, gentlemen, you guys.
That was referee Chet Roberts conducting the Toyota coin toss. You heard him indicate that Chaminade Julienne won the toss. They opted to receive, and they will be going left to right across your screen. They will be going toward the south end zone at Roger Glass Stadium. CJ in their home jerseys, green uniforms and pants, white numerals, and Bishop Fenwick in their away uniforms, white jerseys, red pants with yellow and white trim, red numerals. And we should mention also right now, for at least the first half, Bishop Fenwick will be without their head coach, Mark Mueller. He is attending the senior day festivities for his daughter, who plays high school soccer. Her senior night is tonight. We are told Mueller may arrive at halftime, but in the meantime, Brandon Philpott, the offensive coordinator, will be the interim head coach for at least the first half.
Family first.
Family first indeed. This kickoff presented by Wright and Schulte. Derek Morris will send it away. Two men back deep are Aiden Lowry and Colin Cato for CJ, but this kick is going end over end into the end zone for a Chaminade Julienne touchback. The Eagles will take away, or begin their first drive rather, on their own 25-yard line. Keys to the game presented by Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Well, I'm looking for Chaminade to get off to a really, good start in this game, but also correct the penalties. That's really hurt them last week, especially, in their loss. They were, at practice yesterday, you could tell how much they was beat up on each other. They was real upset about that. So I'm looking for a fast start, but a faster finish, so they can play 48 minutes of football tonight. And Fenwick, win the turnover battle and get this home crowd out of the game. So the defense needs their first up, and let's see if they hear how they start in this opening drive.
And on first down, a pitch to the right side. This is Aiden Lowry, quickly got by one man, quickly breaking more tackles across midfield.
He could go all the way.
One man to beat, and he's taken down around the Fenwick 20-yard line. What a start for Aiden Lowry, the junior.
I was on my way to the press box. I ran into his grandfather, and I said, this is your grandson is playing tonight. He said, the one I've been telling you about for the last 5 years. So, hey, I finally get a chance to see him live. Great start to this game for Chaminade. Aiden, great run.
So a 60-yard run for Lowry.
Nice.
That's a first down presented by Arby's. On first down here, it's Malachi Ringer around the end and gets another good dose of about 8 yards. Going to set up second and short. Excuse me, that was Ethan Sullivan Ethan Stacy, I should say, on the carry. Chaminade Julienne, meanwhile, has also entered the Donato's delivery zone. Donato's a great pickup for after the game. Order online for pickup or delivery at donatos.com. Every piece is important, and you see the Chaminade Julienne starting lineup on offense. A lot of run-heavy formations this team will have, and it's already paying off.
They run that double wing offense, and so you see a lot of, look at it, still pushing. I love it. Play to the whistle. I love it.
Already inside the 6, and that's good enough for a first down on the carry from the fullback, Nigel White. So that's a CJ first down presented by Arby's.
You got to give credit to the boys up front. That offensive line, they're winning the battle of the trenches.
You saw a glimpse of the Fenwick starting defenders as Lowry in from the end zone from 6 yards out. A dream start for Chaminade Julienne. Lowry started it with a 60-yard run on the first play from scrimmage, and he quickly finds the end zone from 6 yards for the opening touchdown presented by Donato's.
We were out of practice yesterday. Aiden Lowry came up to me, introduced himself. Good. Young man, well-spoken.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 5. Penalty assessed on the kickoff.
That's just a little too much enthusiasm.
Well, an 80-yard drive and takes only 1:06 of game time off the clock, especially when you start the game with a 60-yard run like Lowry did from your own 20 to the opponent's 20.
Well, I tell you, like I said, we was out of practice yesterday. And, he came and introduced himself to me. Said I play running back too. So I said I can't wait, to see you play tonight.
And the extra point from Milena Papalios is good. So a very efficient start for the CJ offense. Not a lot of plays, not a lot of time, but they covered a lot of ground. 80 yards. Began with a big run from Aiden Lowry and ends with a 6-yard touchdown run. Fenwick's first drive coming up after the break. Well, if you saw our game preview last night on Dayton 24/7 Now, you heard Aiden Lowry mention, starting quick and limiting the mistakes. Well, first play from scrimmage, a 60-yard run from your own 20 to the opponent's 20, and Lowry finishing the drive, a 4-play, 80-yard drive with a 6-yard touchdown run. The scoring summary presented by Rand Associates, and CJ with a big start out to a 7-0 lead.
Coach Wright Earl White couldn't have designed it any better. Sure, yesterday at practice, you can see how focused he was on this game, but I don't think he came up with these first 4 plays to work to perfection the way they did it. So it's a coach's dream when it does work that well.
Adam Rucker returning the kickoff presented by Wright and Schulte. Again, it was moved back because there was an unsportsmanlike foul on CJ after the touchdown. So actually great starting field position for the Fenwick offense. It will be at the Chaminade Julienne 45-yard line. Here's a look at the Fenwick starting offense. 3 wide receivers, just the one running back, Adam Rucker, who you saw return the kickoff, and the one tight end, Vincent Giordano. He will see plenty of action tonight. He plays both tight end and on the defensive side for the Falcons. Austin Rickard sets up under center. And it's a QB keeper, quickly try to get to the near sideline, and he's good for about a 5-yard gain before he's stopped. Going to bring up second and about 5. Here are the Chaminade Julienne defensive starters. Kaylee and Russell with the stop.
I tell you, both teams, run a variation of the same offense. Chaminade runs more of a double wing offense where you see 2 guys, lined up in wing positions, whereas Middletown Fenwick, they run a wing T. The difference is they only have 1 guy in the wing position, and the other other running back or receiver is split out wide. So you see it lined up right here. You know, you got one guy in the wing position, in the wing right, and the slot on the left.
On second down, a handoff, and good for a gain of about 4. That's the halfback, number 5, Jordan Van. It was actually a wide receiver sweep to the far sideline. He's going to be stopped short. It will bring up 3rd and short for the Falcons.
Yeah, but then, that works good for both of these offenses. Offenses is the deception that they use. You know, Chaminade does it with a double wing. Fenwick does it with a wing T. So you have to be disciplined in your defensive assignments and don't get caught up chasing the ball. You have to read your assignment, read your keys.
3rd down and 1. And Rickard on the QB keeper quickly has it up for the first down. He'll dive close to the CJ 30-yard line. And that is good for Fenwick's first down in the game. It's presented by Arby's. So very efficient movement from both offenses to start. CJ going more for the big play. Fenwick a little bit more deliberate so far, but still moving downfield as we do have a timeout for injury. And if you're just joining us, no typo on the score. CJ opted to receive the ball first, and they quickly went downfield 80 yards from Aiden Lowry, a 6-yard run, completing the drive with the touchdown. As you take a look at the Fenwick huddle.
Yeah, Max Boone on the injured Falcon for Middletown, Fenwick. Hopefully it's nothing too bad. Even though it rained earlier today.
It did.
But still, we're still in September, and, you know, cramping still comes into effect once you get into these ball games.
Yeah, it was a decent downpour, not really a heavy downpour, but you could decently feel it about an hour ago, and then it kind of moved further east. We are
still a little humid out here.
It is quite humid. That is for sure. Again, like you say, we are in the late days of September. Still quite a few more warm days before we dive into winter. And the good news, there is Mike Boone. He is up and running to the sideline on his own accord.
Love to see that. I remember when I was in college, Earl Bruce he used to make something that made a lot of sense. When you see a guy on the field screaming in pain, he's not as hurt as much. But the guy who doesn't scream as much, he's more injured. So I'm not to say we didn't hear any sounds or anything like coming out of Max Boone, but I'm glad to see him up and running off the field.
So on first down, a handoff to Van. He moved out of the backfield and quickly met for no gain, maybe a yard at most. But on the spot to make the stop was number 15 for Chaminade Julienne. That is Joe Hudson.
Well, this is the first play that they've run that wasn't, either offense that wasn't successful. You know, when you run the ball as much as both these teams, both coaches want to average at least 4 yards a carry. So it's going to come down to a game of wills. Who can impose their will on each other? Open the drive, Chaminade imposed their will on Fenwick. Open the drive for Fenwick, they're trying to do the same against Chaminade.
Rickard from the shotgun, it's a QB keeper. He's going to have a gain of about 3.5.
Well, now they got him in a situation. Now we got third down. This is the first third down we've seen in the game.
Yes.
And I always talk week after week, win the battle of the third downs. If you're on defense, get off the field. If you're on offense, stay on the field. And whoever wins the majority of those battles usually somehow ends up winning the war of this football game.
And also the placement of the ball at the 27-yard line. If Fenwick is unable to get any closer right now, they'd be looking at a 44-yard field goal. But on 3rd down and 7, Rickard rolling to his right, trying to buy time, and gets the throw off. It's intercepted. Colin Cato, it looked like he was originally just trying to swat the ball away, but in fact he was able to hold on to the ball and keep both feet down, and CJ with the turnover.
Yeah, the quarterback was Adam Rickard was in Austin, was in a strange position. Do I keep it? I don't think I can run for the first down, or do I just throw it? And he's kind of in no man's land. I think if he had to do it all over again, he would have just held that and go to 4th down and 3 or 4 and then let him make a decision. But again, that's what I said, one of my keys to the game was turnovers. You have to, win the turnover battle, and that was my first key for Fenwick, and they're turning over an open drive of the game.
So 1 touchdown on their first offensive drive for CJ, and they force a turnover on their first defensive drive. Here's Lowry on first down, quickly out to the 20-yard line, so it's going to set up 2nd and short. As we take another look at this replay, look at the movement by Colin Cadle. It looks like he's originally, from my angle, from where we were on the other side of the field, he was just trying to swat it away, but no, he was able to trap
Just
it
right
and catch the ball.
How about that? A lot of green jerseys around that ball. So now here you go in the double wing offense.
And it's a double
A lot of
handoff.
misdirection.
It was Ethan Stacy who finally took the ball across the line to gain for his Chaminade Julienne first down. That was a double handoff. Isaac Sullivan to Malachi Ringer, and then Ethan Stacy was able to move out past the 25-yard line, and the Eagles have a first down presented by Arby's.
See, Fenwick is having a hard time finding the football because that offensive line from Chaminade is big. So when they do that double handoff in the backfield, it's hard to find out who has the ball and who doesn't. So you have to stay at home, you know, the outside linebackers and defensive end. You got to let the ball come to you.
And we got some early movement.
And that was the one thing that Chaminade talked about so much. Oh, we got a timeout.
They did get the timeout.
It was about to be movement. Coach Earl White was not too happy, you know, about whatever happened. Whatever went on, they weren't on the same page. Don't want to speculate too much.
And we will take this break with them. Chaminade Julienne with the ball after a turnover. They lead 7-0 on week 7 of Thursday Night Lights. Timeout from Dayton. .6:51 to go in the opening quarter from Roger Glass Stadium. Chaminade Julienne with a 7-0 lead and the ball after they took their first timeout. They are at their own 28-yard line, wanting to capitalize on this outstanding start for their homecoming night. A chance to get back in the win column after a tough loss to open GCL play. CJ was on the road at McNicholas and was shut out by the Rockets. So this is, in fact, it was their first touchdown of GCL play just a few minutes ago. Nigel Wright, the fullback, with the carry, and he's only able to gain 1 at maximum 2 yards, so it's going to bring up 2nd and long.
Well, I said I used a lot of deception. They fooled me that time. I thought it was play action pass. But the Falcons of Fenwick were ready.
Well, again, we haven't seen very many passes. In fact, the one pass attempt I think we've seen was the interception for Chaminade Julienne.
It is the only pass we've seen so far tonight. You know, if you're Fenwick, you want to keep Chaminade in 3rd and long like they kept you in 3rd and long.
Well, we've got a flag on the play.
I want to say
Chaminade Julienne fans below us were applauding.
Yeah, I think
Dead ball. Offsides.
neutral zone.
Number 3 on the defense.
He lined up-
5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Lined up in the neutral zone, but I didn't see no movement. So I thought the referee should have just let the play run out and then throw the flag. I'm sure Chaminade would have preferred that. Get a free play.
So 2nd and 2, a bobbled snap. Lowry picks it up and he quickly finds the first down.
Oh, boy.
He quickly maneuvers around to the defender down the far sideline. One man has an angle and pushed out of bounds just shy of the red zone. That was a key alertness from Patrick
That was a
Kiefer
headsy play.
to prevent the touchdown, but Lowry, on what could have been a disaster for CJ, Lowry picks up the ball and turns at what could have potentially been at best no gain into a big gain, another big gain for CJ.
I love the offensive linemen didn't know what it was. They was just doing their assignments. But Aiden Lowry knew where to go with the ball. He found the hole, and they're back at it again.
Malachi Ringer quickly up the middle, and only a lineman was able to stop him as Ringer does get inside the Donato's delivery zone. Donato's a great call for before or after the game. Order online for pickup or delivery at donatos.com. Every piece is important. Also should mention Lowry's big run was resulting in another CJ first down presented by Arby's. Ethan Stacy now. Quickly inside the 10, that's another first down. Trying to get to the near corner, and he's got it! Ethan Stacy from 15 yards out. Touchdown, CJ. A touchdown presented by Donato's.
They're going to make sure they don't get a penalty this time for excessive celebration. But I tell you, all 4 of those running backs, they're nice, you know, tight-knit bunch of guys. You know, we was doing some interviews with them, talking to them yesterday at practice. All of them said they was all bad, you know, me. But not just saying me, my turn, it was like us. Don't forget your turn. So it was a great time yesterday, spent some time, with Chaminade players.
And here's Milena Papalios, one of the few seniors on this team, but there is a flag on the play before
Coach
the
White
snap.
is not going to be happy with this one.
Dead ball. False start on the offense, number 55. 5-yard penalty. We'll retry that.
Yeah, I mean, those are the kind of penalties that was the difference in the ball game last week. It was just way too many ill-advised penalties, and the penalties on the extra point are not acceptable. Except this 5 yards makes a difference.
Kick on the way, and it is good from Papalio, so it's 14-0. You alluded last week, it basically came down to a missed PAT and a missed two-point conversion. As you take a look at the scoring summary presented by Rand Associates, Ethan Stacy with a 15-yard touchdown run, capping off an 87-yard drive that began with the interception when it looked like Fenwick was able to move inside the red zone, have a chance to match CJ's opening touchdown. But Chaminade Julienne, what a start for them in the opening 6 minutes of the game.
I mean, yeah, they're fired up, ready to go. Look at Ethan Stacy, just keep on finding, keep on, keep the feet moving. Just as you always tell good running backs, run the daylight. When in doubt, run the daylight, and that's exactly what he did.
And that's been the key calling card for the CJ backfield. They've been able to get to places where the Fenwick defenders weren't. There was that long run from Aiden Lowry. It was only because of Patrick Kiefer getting the angle that prevented Lowry from getting in for his second touchdown of the night.
But that is only possible because of the guys up front. My high school football coach, Tom Montgomery over at Roth High School, he used to tell us, nobody loves offensive linemen except their mothers and the head coach. So they get overlooked, but we're going to make sure we highlight the offensive lines on both teams tonight as long as they keep blocking the way they're blocking. And right now, Chaminade's offensive line is doing a tremendous, tremendous job.
This kickoff presented by Wright and Schulte. It will be Isaac Sullivan sending it away. They went for a shorter kick, but this time it's again picked up. It's going to be good field position for Fenwick, and a broken tackle quickly out near midfield. That was Adam Rucker past the 45 to the 46. So another drive for Fenwick will start with excellent starting position. Can they capitalize on it?
I'll tell you, Kendall Owens saved the game-saving touchdown. I mean, a touchdown right there. Because he doesn't make that tackle, Officer Rickard is off to the races. Rickard, I'm sorry.
So Fenwick will come out for their second drive. Again, the Falcons receiving instructions from at least for the first half, their acting head coach, Brandon Philpott. He's their offensive coordinator. Austin Rickard. Quick handoff, and though he kept it himself, a good bit of confusion, and it was all he could do just to gain 1 yard on the play. Going to bring up second and about 9.
This offense reminds me of, from the NFL when you see the RPOs, run pass option. That's what that, instead of a pass option, that was just an option to run, to give it or to keep it. And I thought Austin Rickard did a good job of that. Just Chaminade defense did a whole lot better. But they did say they're going to throw the ball. They didn't want to get labeled as strictly as a running team, but we only seen one pass so far tonight.
And Rickard throwing to his left, complete. Trying to break a tackle with that Schaefer Janek. He's going to be short of the first down, but it will be third and short.
Very manageable now on third down. Since they both run the ball extremely well, I wouldn't be surprised if this is not 2-down territory. To make sure they get the first down, they got 2 chances to get one first down. Because Chaminade's got some momentum. They're at 14-0 in the first quarter. You have to look for a spark.
Gain of 6 on the play makes it 3rd down and 3. They're past midfield to the CJ 47-yard line, and we're going to see a flag for early movement. Question, who moved first?
I don't want to speak too soon.
Dead ball. Encroachment. Number 55 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
You got to give Austin Rickard a lot of credit. He gave a good hard count. When it's 3rd and less than 5, as a defensive player, you have to be alert, for the quarterback's cadence.
Well, to clarify Chet Roberts' statement, it was encroachment on the defense, and because of the 5-yard penalty, that has moved the ball enough for a Fenwick first down presented by Arby's. And a handoff up the middle, Adam Rucker. He quickly has another Fenwick first down presented by Arby's, and that moves the Falcons inside the 30.
I mean, that's good trap blocking. Offensive lineman looking for somebody to hit. It works so well. There's a deception again.
Another quick tempo run for the Bishop Fenwick offense. They are quickly to the 26-yard line.
You know, run those quick hitters. You're so used to looking for the deception, looking for, the first fake, and they don't fake it. They just straight hand it off.
And we've got another flag for early movement. So both teams going with the quick tempo, but sometimes it's one of those situations where both teams are a little too excited.
Yeah, this is the
encroachment. Number 55 on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Give Austin Rickard credit. He's
Yes.
mixing up his cadence, keeping Chaminade offsides. But in the same token, Chaminade has to wait for the ball to move. You don't listen to the quarterback. I mean, that's 3 penalty plays in about the last 7 plays. That's almost every other play. So, Coach Wright, I'm sure he's not too pleased with that. They addressed it, but now they have to do it on game day.
Rickard aiming to throw, rolling to his right, and a pass incomplete intended for number 3, Derek Singletary. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 1. Ball is at the 20-yard line, so in addition to the success the Fenwick offense has had moving the ball down the field, they are inside the Donato's delivery zone. Donato's a great call for after the game. Order online for pickup or delivery at donatos.com. Every piece is important.
Now, if I'm Chaminade, you have to alert the hard count. You have to alert because they've gotten them offside the last 2 3rd down opportunities. Austin Rickard.
Handoff up the middle. Rucker has enough for the first down to about the 18-yard line, and that is a Fenwick first down presented by Arby's.
When you mix up the cadence, that does nothing but help the offense. So you get the defense on their heels. That time he went on 1. For you guys listening at home, is ready, set, hut. That's on 1. Yep. Ready, set, hut, hut. It's on 2. It's some kind of variation of that. When I say hard, he gets a little loud and changes the inflection of his voice.
Again, another confirmation, Fenwick has moved inside the Donato's delivery zone, donatos.com, and they may very well be moving 5 yards closer.
Dead ball, encroachment, number 15 on the defense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's at least 3 encroachment drives
on this drive.
Penalties this drive
this
alone
series, yep.
On Chaminade Julienne.
You tell them over there whenever in practice, don't just look at the ball. You move on movement. When the ball moves, you move. Don't listen to the outside noise.
From the 12-yard line, a double handoff, and the ball comes loose.
Still
TJ
loose.
Trying to cover it up, and they finally do on the second attempt.
That pigskin was slippery.
The possession was going back and forth, and eventually it fell to Gunnar Davis. He was able to handle the ball on the wet turf, and 2 drives for Fenwick, but no points to show for it, but 2 turnovers.
That was typical bend but don't break defense there. They tried a double handoff.
It was Jackson Kaufman who took the handoff from Austin Rickard.
Austin should have. He had to do it all over again. He would just follow. He tried to pick it up. He tried to pick it up instead of just falling on it.
Kaufman then in turn tried to hand off to Jordan Van. That's when the ball first came loose. It looked like Fenwick had a chance to recover, prevent the turnover, but then CJ gets the ball. What a start for the Eagles. Nigel Wright, the fullback. Quickly out past the 15-yard line.
Still on his feet.
Still on his feet.
Past
the 20.
He doesn't want to fall.
And Fenwick trying to get the strip and force a fumble of their own, but Nigel Wright from inside the 10 quickly gets out to the 35-yard line, and that's a Chaminade Julienne first down presented by Arby's.
I tell you, Nigel, he's playing with a cast on his hand. It's wrapped up, but I think it's a broken thumb. But he said, he told me yesterday, I'm still playing. We're on Thursday Night Lights. I'm not going to miss this game.
So Wright already making an impact, and you notice we show the class ranks of these players. A ton of juniors, a lot of sophomores, very few seniors on the CJ squad.
Still going.
Here's Wright already past midfield. He'll have another first down pickup and eventually taken down at the Fenwick 41-yard line. And that's an Eagle first down presented by Arby's. Nigel Wright making an impact on this drive.
I tell you, feed the young man. He's built solid. Reminds me of old Robert Newhouse, Dallas Cowboy fullback. Big thick thighs. a load to bring down, low center of gravity.
Here's Ethan Stacy. He quickly finds a hole and moves inside the 35 to the 34-yard line, brings up 2nd and about 4.
I'll tell you, they have a thunder and lightning backfield, but they got thunder and 2 lightning.
Again, that quick tempo offense. Lowry again corralling in a loose ball, and all he does to prevent a loss on the play actually does turn that into a gain of about 2, but it will be 3rd down upcoming for the Eagles.
Yeah, that's that time, you know, you do that, you have to give the person who's handing you off a pocket. That time, that was on Aiden Lowry. He's reaching for the ball instead of waiting, letting the ball come in there. He's just a little too excited.
Now, quick break and play, because I did notice the helmet of Cameron Hunter did come off during that play for Fenwick. He is all right. He's able to jog off the field. No injury, but because the helmet came off, he does have to sit out at least 1 play. But there's the handoff again. Another almost fumble for CJ, but all the breaks have been going the Eagles' way so far.
Yeah, you got to give them a big pocket so they can put that ball in there. You can't reach for it.
We're inside the final minute of the first quarter. It's 3rd down and 1. Chaminade Julienne with the ball on the Fenwick 32-yard line. I think we're seeing a signal from Chet Roberts.
Issue. They want 112 on the clock instead of 54 seconds.
Roberts indicating 112 to be put on the clock.
We're listening to you, Mr. Official. You're the boss.
On 3rd down, run up the middle. That's good for a first down. It could be a lot more.
He's still running.
Still on his feet.
Did he get in?
Right. He's down at the 1. He was 32 yards away from the end zone. He got 31, but it's an Eagles first down presented by Arby's. It also moves them for the 3rd time into the Donato's delivery zone. A great call for after the game. Order online for pickup or delivery at donatos.com.
Offensive lineman over there saying, run it again, coach, run it again, coach. Let's see if they do.
Aiden Lowry, and he's in from 1 yard for his 2nd touchdown. And the Eagles, 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. This touchdown presented by Donato's. And what a start for the home team on homecoming night.
I'll tell you, that's how you get started. You know, you come out and you're in the locker room, you know, you give them your pep talk. Let's get on them, guys, early and often, early and often. Well, this is early and often. You know, 20 points, 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. We're on 1 point, extra point away from being 21-0. An absolutely perfect start. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up. There it is.
And Milena Papalios 3 for 3 on the extra points. Chaminade Julienne wanted to put the bitter taste of last week behind them when they were held to 0 points on the road at McNicholas. Here's the big run from Nigel Wright, a 31-yard run. And then Lowry finding the end zone for the 2nd time tonight. Again, those two are only juniors.
I think Nigel Wright wants to go to instant replay. He thinks he got him a touchdown. He said that should have been a 32-yard touchdown instead of a 31-yard run. But excellent job. I'll tell you, I can't wait to watch these guys grow the rest of this year and then next year. This is a great thing that Coach White is building here with Chaminade. They got a good program.
Scoring summary presented by Rand Associates. 6 plays, 90 yards, resulting in the 1-yard touchdown run by Aiden Lowry. Again, benefiting. It started from a turnover. Chaminade Julienne has had 3 drives. They've all gone for touchdowns. Bishop Fenwick about to start their 3rd drive. They've had 2 drives that going well into Eagle territory, but both ending in turnovers. So that's a big, big factor working in Chaminade Julienne's favor.
Yeah, Bishop Fenwick has got to get out of their own way. You know, they've had the ball twice, moved the ball twice deep into CJ territory, and then they turn it over. You know, so like I said, for Chaminade, that's the epitome of bend but don't break, you know, defense and getting turnovers.
And this kickoff presented by Wright and Schulte. Sullivan will send it deep, and this will be the first opportunity for one of the deep men for the Falcons to return. He's quickly out past the 30-yard line to the 34. That was Jordan Van. So Fenwick has not had an issue in terms of starting field position. And if anything, they've had the major advantage because CJ has started inside their own 20, inside their own 25. But the Eagles have been the ones to take advantage of opportunities.
Yeah, the Chaminade have taken advantage of chunk yardage, explosive plays. That's been the key. And so far, Fenwick hasn't had any chunk yardage plays that really changed the field. They've got to drive it down there methodically, which is nothing wrong with that, but you have to finish those drives.
On first down, Austin Rickert from the shotgun. Rolling right, this pass is complete, good for about an 8-yard gain. They're going to mark it 2 yards short. That's A.J. Kaiser on the reception. So 2nd and 2 upcoming, past the 40-yard line to about the 42.
Well, you know, the down 3 scores, they've been running so much, and said, let's start this series off a little different with a pass.
With 20 seconds left, it looks like they're going to try to get at least one play off before the end of the quarter, which, again, down 21-0, trying to get some type of long-term positive momentum on offense. Handoff to Van, quickly up the middle and across the 45. That's good for a Fenwick first down, presented by Arby's.
I think they're going to be content with that. We've got another injured Fenwick player on the field. You know, it's only 5 seconds to go in the quarter. I think that would probably be the last play of the quarter. I don't think they're going to try to squeeze another play, you know, in here after we finish dealing with the injury. Hopefully it's not too bad.
Again, Bishop Fenwick right now meeting with, for now, the acting head coach, Brandon Philpott. We mentioned head coach Mark Mueller. He is currently attending the senior day festivities for his daughter, who plays high school soccer. You're told he might arrive at Roger Glass Stadium by halftime. Meanwhile, the conversation right now for Chaminade Julienne, almost everything they've done has worked out in their favor. They have had a couple of penalties, especially on that last drive, but apart from that, everything else has been the opposite of Murphy's Law.
I'm sure Fenwick's coach Mueller's cell phone is probably working, and he's probably not enjoying the texts he's getting. So I'm sure he's going to be here as soon as possible. But I don't think it would make any difference if he was here or not. They're moving the ball offensively. You know, so that, but it's just the 2 turnovers, and defensively, they haven't been able to get off the field without giving up touchdowns. So the defense of Fenwick has to figure out what Chaminade is doing the best against them and try to make some kind of adjustment to slow them down, because Chaminade is playing with a great deal of confidence right now.
Well, in the meantime, we are going to go down to the sideline, and Tej Joshi. Hi, Tej.
All right, guys, I want to tell you something cool that's right here down on the CJ sideline. This is their turnover pickle. Now, this is presented to anyone on their defense who forces a turnover. Now, this is what I like to say. It's the turnover pickle, because it comes after they get picks or interceptions that coaches told me, inspired by Rick and Morty and the kids here on the sideline. They absolutely love it, and so do I. For now, though, back to you guys up in the broadcast booth.
I don't think I've ever heard of a turnover pickle.
I've heard of it, yeah. As here's a look at the first turnover. It was a Colin Cato interception, and that led to a CJ touchdown that made it 14-0. And then Fenwick's next drive, they were inside the red zone, but then this fumble.
Cause fumble, yep.
It was a situation. Rickert nearly kept the drive alive for Fenwick, but ultimately lost out on possession to Gunnar Davis, and then CJ quickly drove down the field. So 14 points of the 21, a direct result of the turnovers.
So they put the other team in a pickle. That's why it's a turnover pickle.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. There it is.
Well, Austin Giordano was the injured Falcon. He has made his way back to the bench, but the clock has run out for the first quarter, and it could not have been a much better first quarter for Chaminade Julienne. 21-0. They lead on homecoming. We'll have the second quarter next on Thursday Night Lights. A whiteout night, homecoming night. A year of celebration for Chaminade Julienne Catholic High School, and tonight the Eagles are in a very celebratory mode as they lead 21-0 as we get ready for the second quarter of Thursday Night Lights. On first down, Austin Rickert's pass deflected and intercepted again. This is Zion Woods, the linebacker, quickly met at his own 45, but 3 drives now for Fenwick and resulted in 3 turnovers.
I mean, if you're Middletown Fenwick, you know, you're saying this is Murphy's Law. Anything that could go wrong has went wrong. You know, 2 turnovers and a fumble in your first 3 drives. I mean, this is just unfortunate. Hit his own player. He's throwing away, hit his own player's helmet. Ball pops up in the air. And Chaminade said, we'll take it. So we don't mind Murphy's Law in reverse.
And Woods celebrating with the turnover pickle that you saw Tej Joshi mention back in the first quarter. CJ's turned the first 2 turnovers into 14 total points. Now can they get a 3rd touchdown from a turnover? Pitch out the left side.
Oh, he's got a
Ethan
hole there.
Stacy. Got one hole inside the 40, trying to spin around close to the 37-yard line. That's going to be good for an Eagle first down presented by Bathmasters. And again, the Chaminade Julienne offense moving past midfield.
I asked Ethan Stacy yesterday at practice, what does he love about football? He said the contact, the camaraderie. He just loves everything about football. You can tell.
And this is Stacy again around the left side, quickly inside the 35. Going to be tackled and pushed forward. That should be close to another first down, maybe second and short.
So I'm loving this Chaminade Julienne, the offensive line. You know, they don't like to be singled out. They, you know, when one makes a mistake, they all make a mistake. One does well, they all do well. And they are playing together tonight as a cohesive unit. Changing the line of scrimmage.
This is Malachi Ringer up the middle. He quickly has a first down. He could have a lot more. One man to beat. And Jackson Kaufman prevents the touchdown. But that's another big run for Malachi Ringer. A first down presented by Bathmasters.
Just a sophomore.
It also moves CJ into the Donato's delivery zone. Donato's Pizza, great call for after the game. Order online for pickup or delivery at donatos.com. Now Isaac Sullivan, he's trying to get on the score sheet himself, trying to push his way forward, maybe gets a yard. It will mean second and goal from the 3.
I mean, they have this Fenwick defense off confused. You know, have them off balance. You know, they are, there's an injured injured Eagle on the field, number 50. Hopefully it's not too, he was just standing up and went down.
And Sullivan also gingerly walking back toward the sideline with this injury timeout. Here's a look at the big run from Malachi Ringer to move the Eagles into the red zone.
I mean, they got Fenwick on their heels.
And they're all, well, 3 of them are juniors. Aiden Lowry, Nigel Wright, Ethan Stacy are all juniors. Malachi Ringer is only a sophomore, so they are bringing a ton of experience from middle school ball, but they're also going to stay with CJ for some time to come as well.
Oh, absolutely. You know, they're a bunch of guys. That unit, they didn't really care who get the most carries as long as, you know, the ball moves forward. And in this offense, there's a lot of carries for a lot of different running backs. So they're all featured, you know, running backs, if you will.
Chaminade Julienne, they started the season with 2 wins. As we take a look at some stats right now, Stacy right now with 61 yards on 6 carries and the 1 touchdown. Aiden Lowry, 91 yards with the 2 touchdowns. So both players, basically the entire backfield already trying to make a case. One of them will be named player of the game later tonight. We'll find out who, or we may very well give it to the entire backfield.
At this point, sir, early in the second quarter, right now, I mean, you can't ask for more out of your offensive running backs.
Well, Chaminade Julienne did start the year 2-0. Week 3 was a tough loss here at Roger Glass Stadium to Bishop Hartley out of Columbus. They bounced back with 2 straight wins to move to 4-1, and then last week they were held scoreless in the GCL opener on the road at McNicholas. Bishop Fenwick, meanwhile, they started 4-0, but then they had a tough loss against Mount Healthy in week 5. And week 6, their GCL opener, they were playing Dayton, and they were held to just a field goal. As you see, one of the CJ players, Chandler Moore, having to be helped to the sideline. Hopefully he's able to recover quickly.
Chaminade would love to punch this in right now to go up by 4 scores.
It would mean 21 points off of turnovers if they do capitalize. Both teams have made plays. Chaminade Julienne has just made ones that result in points. Stacy up the middle, quickly met at the line of scrimmage. This is going to be no gain and a 3rd and goal situation.
Well, you know, if I'm Earl White right now, am I thinking about going for it on 4th down? If you don't get this 3rd down, you don't cross the goal line here, or just take the field goal.
That was a good stop on the part of Cameron Hunter, the linebacker.
Oh my gosh, I just seen a massive block. Too bad they didn't reserve the score. Matthew Swisher.
And Aiden Lowry quickly into the end zone. CJ wasting little time between plays. Lowry in from 2 yards for his 3rd touchdown of the night.
No, he got 3.
A touchdown presented by Donatos, and it is now 27-0 with 10:08 to go in the second.
Get the handshake right, guys. The 3rd time's a charm.
They had the turnover pickle. I'm not sure what item they have for celebration for scoring, but here's Milena Papalios with the extra point. She is 4 for 4, and it is now 28-0. Almost everything going Chaminade Julienne's way in this first half. They lead 28-0 on week 7 of Thursday Night Lights. (28-0) Chaminade Julienne leads Bishop Fenwick with 10:11 to go in the second quarter. We greet you from Roger Glass Stadium in the southwest part of downtown Dayton, Ohio. This kickoff presented by Wright and Schulte. It's going to be taken by Schaefer Janek. Quickly found a hole up the far sideline out to the 40-yard line. So now Fenwick, they've only had 3 drives, but all 3 have resulted in turnovers, directly leading to Chaminade Julienne points. Here's another look at the touchdown for Lowry, his 3rd of the night.
I mean, that offensive line was, pulling around there, looking for somebody to block. That deception of that double wing has really, confused the Middletown Fenwick football players tonight.
And the Falcons offense has made plays of their own. They've been able to get past midfield on all 3 of their drives, but haven't been able to hold on to the football. Adam Rucker quickly towards midfield. He's going to be stopped short of the 50. It will bring up about 2nd and 5.
Well, even though it's the second quarter, with a little less than 10 minutes to go, you're down 4 scores. You don't wait till the second half to start, playing a little at a more up-tempo, faster pace, because you don't have that many possessions left in the ball game the way Chaminade could run the football. The last thing you want to do is go into the halftime with a goose egg and the other team has 4 touchdowns. This drive, I think, is going to tell a lot with how this night is going to go for Fenwick.
You saw the scoring summary presented by Rand Associates for Chaminade Julienne. 6 plays, 53 yards, and an end around is going to be taken down for a short loss. That was number 13, Daniel Swift, but number 8, Zion Woods, who had the interception on Fenwick's most recent drive. With the stop, it's going to bring up 3rd down and about 4.
I think Woods wouldn't let Swift out of the woods. They just beat him to the spot. Long arms, good tackle. I've been really impressed thus far with this Chaminade offense and defense.
Rickert under center, trying to slow down the tempo a bit. Ball's at the 46-yard line.
Crucial 3rd down.
Trying to get to midfield. It's a handoff up the middle. And Adam Rucker able to break a couple of tackles, but they may mark him short to the 49-yard line. So that's 4th down and 1. At this point, with 8.5 minutes to go until halftime, do you go for it here? I'm
tempted to go for it, but I better punt. My defense hasn't stopped them yet. I don't want to give them great field position. But what do I know? I'm not the head coach tonight. The head coach tonight is at the soccer game. The assistant coach has said, I'm going to make this call. We're going for it.
Again, Mark Bueller, we are told, maybe on his way tonight. He was attending the senior night festivities for his daughter's high school soccer game. They are going for it on 4th down, and it's Rickert with the keeper. He definitely has enough for a Fenwick 1st down presented by Bathmasters, and that also, again, moves Fenwick past midfield into CJ territory.
Well, that was a weight room run, looked like to me. I'm just going to find one guy and see who's going to win. He'll play tug of war for the 1st down, and Austin Rickert got it done. Sorry, Austin, calling you Adam. Your family at home, I'm sorry. I won't mess up anymore. Austin Rickert.
I always have to remind myself looking at the rosters. Here is Rickert on the play action.
Got the wheel right open.
Going downfield, got a man open.
Oh.
It's off the hand of Jordan Van. That would have been the first long downfield pass complete of the entire game. Instead, it's 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good route. Just too bad they couldn't connect. You fake it to the back in the backfield and just send him on the wheel route, which is the old-fashioned out and up. I made a living off that route for 13 years in the NFL.
Looked like maybe just a little
off target.
Little excited on the part of Rickert. He saw Van did have a step on the defender, but couldn't quite corral the ball in. It's 2nd down and 10 as a result.
Chaminade hadn't done a lot of blitzing tonight.
Rickert on the QB keeper, quickly inside the 40, and he's quickly inside the 35-yard line, or in fact down at about the 35, and that is good for a Falcon 1st down presented by Bathmasters.
Moving the ball hasn't been a problem for the Falcons of Fenwick. What they have to do is finish the drive.
Yes.
And they haven't finished the drive the right way yet, in the first 3 times they've had this ball. Maybe the 4th time will be a charm instead of the 3rd time.
Again, they've had excellent starting field position. They've gotten the ball past midfield on all now 4 of their drives. And here's Van. Quickly cuts back to the right, still on his feet, quickly down inside the 30, and that's going to be good for another Falcon first down, presented by Bathmasters, a gain of 11 on the run from Jordan Van.
A lot of whistles being blown out there.
And Chet Roberts, the referee, indicating a sideline warning on Chaminade Julienne with 6:58 to go until halftime. So the first down run stands by Van. It moves the ball to the 24-yard line. Fenwick, they were inside the red zone in the first quarter, but lost a fumble. And now they're 4 yards away from a return to the Donato's delivery zone. Van again, quickly inside the 20, inside the 15, bursting through to about the 10-yard line. That's another Fenwick first down presented by Bathmasters. And for the second time, the Falcons have entered the Donato's delivery zone. Donato's a great call for after the game. Order online for pickup or delivery at donatos.com. Every piece is important.
I mean, like I said, they have moved the drive every time they've had the ball. Can they finish off a drive? Well, now they're inside the 15-yard line. This is about last fumble occurred. Not to be a jinx.
From the 12-yard line, Rickard on the QB keeper. One broken tackle, quickly to about the 2. He may have enough for a first down. And yes, they are signaling he will have enough for a 1st and goal for Fenwick. That's a first down pickup presented by Bathmasters.
There seems to be no quitting these Fenwick guys.
Now Chet Roberts indicating a timeout called by Fenwick, so just wanted to make sure everyone's on the same page after they've come close. They're at the 1-yard line, and we'll see if the Falcons can get on the board after this timeout. .6:19 to go in the first half from Roger Glass Stadium. Chaminade Julienne leading Bishop Fenwick 28-0, but the Falcons have the ball at the 1-yard line, the closest they've come to scoring as they try to find the end zone on this, their 4th drive of the ball game after the first 3 drives have each ended in a turnover. Austin Ricker lines up under center, quickly goes off right tackle, and Austin Ricker from 1 yard out is in for Fenwick's first score of the night. Their first points against a GCL opponent, the first touchdown, I should say, against the GCL opponent this season. That touchdown presented by Donato's, and it is 28-6.
Austin Ricker is a low 6'4", 205 pounds, and 210 pounds, excuse me. I mean, quarterback sneaks. He reminds me on those sneaks similar to Jalen Hurts on the Philadelphia Eagles. You forget how big and strong those quarterbacks are just simply because they play the position. But, he's a stud, big guy.
Derek Morris adds the PAT, and Bishop Fenwick, 4th time is the charm after 3 drives, all ended in turnovers that directly led to Chaminade Julienne points. Here's the long run from Rickert that set up a 1st and goal, and then the very next play, Rickert running off the right tackle. Max Boone is back in the game. He had to step out for a few minutes because of a quick injury, but glad to see Boone is back in the game for Fenwick. Scoring summary presented by Rand Associates, 10 plays, 60 yards, ending on the 1-yard touchdown run.
I'll tell you, that way you don't have to worry about going into halftime down. So if you're Fenwick, you're looking for a turnover. You're looking, you've turned the ball over 3 times tonight. Chaminade's turned it over none. Only mistake Chaminade has made on either side of the ball is just jumping off sides. The penalties. They spoke about, before the game. That's the only bad thing that Chaminade's really done. Too many ill-advised, offsides, penalties, pre-snap penalties. But other than that, everything they've run offensively has just been A++. You get 4 drives, and they all end in touchdowns, and they weren't all cupcake drives. You had to drive the ball.
This kickoff presented by Wright and Schulte, but there will be a retake as there's a flag on the play. And illegal movement on the part of Fenwick as Morris was going for a short kick, almost an onside style kick, but here's Chet Roberts with the official call.
I don't think Chaminade was ready.
And it was, in fact, not Roberts, but the near judge right there who's setting the ball ready for play. They are going to move Fenwick back 5 yards to the 35-yard line for this kickoff.
If I'm Chaminade, I'm still going to alert the onside kick.
Again, all of Chaminade Julienne's drives have ended with touchdowns. They took the opening kickoff, and then they're all 3 touchdowns. All of those drives started on account of turnovers. And we've got another stoppage of play.
We'll go to timeout this time, Coach White.
Timeout, Chaminade. That's their 3rd and final timeout.
So CJ out of timeouts for the first half. We've mentioned it's a big night for the school in general. It is their whiteout night. The students showing up all in white, and they've been treated to some good weather. The rain did arrive right as the students were arriving and the gates were opening around 6, but the rain has subsided and it's been clear, a little bit humid throughout, but not unplayable conditions. It's actually been quite ideal. It is also homecoming for Chaminade Julienne, and a historic homecoming, as it is 50 years 2023 is since the unification of Chaminade and Julienne high schools. They came together to form one Catholic high school.
That's been 50 years ago.
50 years this year.
Wow. And I'm old enough to remember that, Matt.
Yep.
I am old enough to remember that.
Here's a glimpse of CJ head coach Earl White, 2nd season with the Eagles. He's been with multiple Dayton public school teams over the years, and it's now his 2nd season with Chaminade Julienne after Marcus Colvin went to Beaver Creek. But here's Morris on the short kickoff presented by Wright and Schulte, and almost spilled, but CJ recovers at the Fenwick 48-yard line.
That was a wise timeout. You know, you hate to burn all your timeouts with 6 minutes to go in the half, but Coach White didn't have his hands team on the field. And, you know, there are too many offensive linemen in on that kick return, so now let me get my good hands people out there. So that was a timeout well spent.
And heads up play by Malachi Ringer to recover the ball. Otherwise, Fenwick, there were several players on the Falcon sideline that were motioning. Maybe they could have gotten the recovery of the onside kick. But CJ takes over at the Falcon 48-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Eagles' 5th drive of the night. Comes with 6:14 to go in the 2nd.
It's the first time Chaminade's been threatened with momentum being taken away from them. So, you know, I would say if you have it, keep it. And if you don't have it, go get it. So Fenwick's trying to hang on to that momentum with a little bit they had by getting that first score, but it's open to play for Chaminade. Seems like they want to get another touchdown.
Ethan Stacy had the carry, quickly got past the 45 and then was met at about the 42-yard line. It's going to bring up 2nd and 4 after a gain of 6. CJ has also been very quick to go downfield. They haven't necessarily been fans of eating up a lot of clock, not a fan of being methodical. Here's Stacy again, quickly inside the 40. He should have enough for another Eagle first down presented by Batmasters. And again,
close.
The chains will move to
Not that
about
close. They've already moved the chains.
to about the 37, 36-yard line.
What I love about high school officials, especially here in the state of Ohio, they don't bring those chains out too often, you know, to measure. Either you have it or you don't. They're real decisive about it.
They keep the game moving. Coming up on 5.5 minutes to go in the first half. CJ trying to stay perfect for drives ending in touchdowns. Maybe some early movement. In the meantime, Nitro right up the middle.
Right.
He hopped over one man quickly inside the 20 and down for another Eagle first down presented by Batmasters. And Wright also moves Chaminade Julienne into the Donato's delivery zone. Donato's Pizza, great call for after the game. Order online for pickup or delivery at donatos.com.
He's playing with a broken thumb. You see that cast on his right hand. You know, if he could use that hand to keep his balance, you know, he would have even bigger runs out of here.
This is Malachi Ringer. Was met at the 4-yard line, but that's going to be close to another CJ first down, and indeed, they will move the chains. It will be 1st and goal presented by Batmasters on the first down run from Malachi Ringer.
Hey, they got this Fenwick on their heels. they don't know if they're going left, right up their gut. You know, they have them confused.
And a quick pitch to Aiden Lowry. He's met. Does he extend over the plane?
I think he was down before he crossed the goal line.
The VAR judge indicating he is down at the 1.
He's ready for number 4. He won a touchdown number 4 that time, but just a little shy. It's a big hit by the Fenwick player right that made him at the goal line. That's a good knockback hit. He's down.
That was Schaefer Janik preventing the touchdown. So it's 2nd and goal from the 1, and Janik now running to the sideline. Looked like he may have lost a piece of equipment on his helmet. So
he hit him pretty hard. So I'm not surprised if something had to. One of his snaps on his helmet probably broke.
3 touchdowns for Lowry, 1 for Stacy.
I think Elijah Wright will get the ball. Not so.
This time it's Malachi Ringer who's in for 1-yard touchdown run. Malachi Ringer, the sophomore, gets his first touchdown of the night. That touchdown presented by Donato's, and it is 34-7 in favor of the Eagles.
That is getting it done big time. And it all starts up front. It starts with that offensive line. They are winning the battle at the line of scrimmage, you know, that gets overlooked so often in football. They are winning the battle of the trenches. You know, that offensive line is Chaminade. That may be the unsung hero of the game. If it was the end of the day, who would be the MVP? That offensive line. Not very many tackles for loss, if any. I can't think of none.
Nope. And Milena Papalios is also 5 for 5 as the Eagles kicker. The scoring summary presented by Rand Associates, 7 plays, 52 yards. Again, that started on an actual kickoff, the first drive since the opening moments of the game, where Chaminade Julienne actually had to start from a free kick on the part of Fenwick because Fenwick had scored a touchdown of their own. But like you said, Keith Byers, Fenwick was just starting to get the momentum. They had a good drive going, one that finally ended in points, but a huge response from CJ.
Yeah, they just jumped on that momentum and got it right back over here on CJ's, you know, sideline. I tell you, momentum does not discriminate.
No.
He's a front runner. So momentum just wants to ride. Mo just wants to ride. So if you got old Mo on your side, keep him on your side because good things happen.
So 35-7. Fenwick now getting ready for what will be their 5th drive of the night. Again, all of their drives have gone past midfield. They've had multiple first downs. It's just a matter of the first 3 drives they had all ended in turnovers.
We have 4.5 minutes to be played in this half. Can Fenwick get another touchdown? Can they get another touchdown?
This kickoff presented by Wright and Schulte. Isaac Sullivan will send it away. Schaefer Janik among the deep Falcons, and this will be taken by one of the up men. It is indeed Adam Rucker quickly to the 35, maybe the 36-yard line. So again, for Fenwick, it's a matter of putting plays together, and they've been a little bit more deliberate in terms of drive length and how much time of possession they have.
Yeah, but they got to pick up the tempo if they want to get back in this ball.
Yes.
You know, they're 28 points right now. They need another score before the half because they are getting the ball to start the second half. You know, they need to go back-to-back, you know, scores to get back in this ball game.
They only had a field goal last week in the loss to Dayton to open GCL play. Right now they do have a touchdown. Rickard on the play action. Rolling to his right. Pass is caught by Derek Singletary, but it's only going to be a short gain. They'll actually give him about 3 close to the 39-yard line.
It's the same as if they'd run the ball. And he got out of bounds, stop the clock.
It was Dorian Carter Jr. on the defensive pressure for Chaminade Julienne, who essentially pushed Singletary out of play to prevent any further gain.
Thursday Night Lights, you got a great crowd here at Chaminade. Fenwick didn't do too bad either. They traveled up here from Middletown.
Yep. Hand off to Jordan Van up the middle, close to the 45-yard line. That will bring up 3rd and short for the Falcons, who the school itself is not that far from 75. It's just a matter of getting to 75, and then it's straight to 75 and 35. We are literally right off the southwest part of downtown Dayton, Ohio. So not a long distance for the Falcons fans.
Great place to see a football game.
You see the Chaminade Julienne cheerleaders, they've had plenty to cheer about tonight. So have the fans in the stands.
Now, this I always said, if you don't get it right now, you got to read the program. You got to go for it on fourth down if they come up short. But big Austin Rickard's going to make sure they don't come out short.
Rickard up the middle. He is close to the 50-yard line. In fact, they'll mark him past the 50 inside CJ territory to the 49. And that is a Falcon first down presented by Bathmasters.
He's running that ball like Cam Newton. Everybody knows in the building know you're going to run the ball, yet you still go get it. But when you're 6'4", 215, you got to have the body that don't care if y'all know it's coming. I like my chances one-on-one.
Rickard in the shotgun with two wide receivers on his right, but it's going to be a handoff to Van, who runs into his own man, forced to reverse
nice
field
block by Rickard.
And gets a block. He actually turns a positive play out of that when it looked like he could have been stopped for a loss, but Jordan Van able to turn that play into about a 3-yard gain, second down and 7.
I'll tell you, that's just keep your legs moving and make something positive happen. And, you know, that's what happened on that play. I mean, that could have easily been a 3-yard loss, but instead of a 3-yard loss, it's a 3-yard gain.
So Fenwick will set up second down and 7 as the clock is now under 2:40 to go until halftime. We do have the halftime show coming up. Tej Joshi will be interviewing members from both the Chaminade Julienne and Fenwick communities. And quickly met in the backfield. That was Jackson Kaufman took the handoff, but not fooled on the play was Elijah Berman for Chaminade Julienne and Fenwick.
That was a sandwich of
now in a third down situation.
that was an eagle sandwich there. You don't want to be the dessert between them two pieces of bread.
2 minutes to go. A loss of 1 on the play, so it's third down and 8 from the 47. Fenwick can get a first down at the 39-yard line. Van on the left hip of Rickard. Woods, the defensive lineman, quickly going out as a defensive back. Rickard thought about a deep pass. He may still get a throw off. It was caught, but not in bounds.
You know, you try to get 2 feet down. All you need is 1 in high school, but not enough room to get either one down.
So A.J. Kaiser unable to convert the first down, and now it's 4th and 8 for Fenwick.
I'm still tempted to go for it.
We 1:36 until halftime.
I'm going for it. I'm going to go for it. It's 4th and 8. You know, nothing's positive really. Only had 1 good series. I'm going to put the ball in my quarterback's hand and trust he'll make the wisest decision. But here, I wouldn't be surprised if it'd be 4th and 3rd. He's been good at this, going these hard counts. But he's going to take a timeout first.
Fenwick does have 2 timeouts to use, and one of them will be taken right here. Again, with 96 seconds to play in the first half. I mentioned we have the halftime show coming up. Tej Joshi will be interviewing members of both the Chaminade Julienne and Bishop Fenwick communities. We'll also be presenting the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group Scholar Athletes of the Week for both the Falcons and the Eagles. We've had the chance to meet some outstanding young men and women from around the Miami Valley over the past few weeks, and we'll meet some more next week when we go to Clark County. And then in 2 weeks, we'll be not too far from here, Roger Glass Stadium. We'll be up at Stebbins High School for the MVL contest between Stebbins and Tippecanoe. We close out our Thursday Night Lights slate of 2023 with a Dayton Public Schools matchup as we take a look at the scoring drive here for Bishop Fenwick. This was their last drive, most recent drive. It was the key timely running of Austin Rickard and also help from Jordan Van. And then the Austin Rickard from 1 yard out off the right tackle. That's been the lone touchdown so far tonight for the Falcons. Now they're on the move trying to convert this 4th down here and get to double digits before the halftime break.
That's a good idea by Chaminade to blitz it. Can he get there?
Open was Van. He's going to be stopped about a yard short. And I don't think they will need to measure it. The pass was complete for a gain of 7 yards, but they needed 8. So Chaminade Julienne will force a turnover on downs.
I think he got 7 3/4. So they've been decisive all night, and they continue to be. Just short.
Well, Van looked to maybe have enough space to maneuver inside, but it was the teamwork of Dorian Carter Jr. and Benjamin Lakes that team up to make the stop, and they have indeed decided that it is a turnover on downs. CJ will take over at their own 40-yard line.
Yeah, Fenwick just can't give up any explosive plays with 1:30. You know, that's the only reason why I said go for it. If you don't get it, you get positive yards, you know, maybe, you know, you just don't give up any big yards. But Chaminade have had chunk yardages on almost every drive tonight.
Well, a double handoff. Lowry gives it to Stacy, who quickly gets up to the left side, taken down on a tackle made by Patrick Kiefer.
And Chaminade is out of timeouts. The only way the clock can stop is on the first down.
Well, they're giving Stacy a gain of about 9.5. It's second down and inches. Stacy on the handoff again. This time he will have enough for a first down, and it's quickly moved inside the 45-yard line. That's going to stop the clock until the snap. And Stacy with a Chaminade Julienne first down presented by Bathmasters.
They're going to get some holding on the call.
Holding. Offense, number 55. 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
So check that on the first down. Chet Roberts indicating it without be second and 10. And that's really been the one thing that CJ needed to work on, and they will still need to work on, not just for the second half, but going forward, is the penalties that limit the big plays.
That's been their Achilles heel so far this year, especially in their losses. Too many penalties, and so they know what it is, but they got to get it worked out.
On second and 11, halfback pass. Lowry got a lot of air under it. It's going to be picked off by Jackson Kaufman. First turnover of the night for the Fenwick defense. Much needed with 51 seconds until halftime.
You know, I've thrown a few halfback passes in my day.
Yep.
And the most important thing the coach always tells me, if it's not there, keep it and run. I think, Aiden, you just forced it. That Fenwick was back on defense. You know, you run that play with the element of surprise. You throw a little jump pass on it. Just simply was there. He should have just had to do it all over again. He would have just eat it. I'm sure Coach White would coach him on that.
Daniel Swift was the Fenwick defender that was giving pressure to Lowry that kind of forced and he definitely got a lot of air under it. Stacy was the intended recipient of the pass. I believe that's the first pass attempted by anyone from CJ tonight. It's all been runs up the middle until just now. A major opportunity for Fenwick, but 50 seconds and only one timeout to work with. And Rickard up the middle. It's going to be short. So Fenwick will have to call their final timeout with about 40 seconds left.
And what they need on this drive is a chunk play.
Yes.
They haven't had any all night. What I call a chunk play, plays over 25 to 30 yards. You know, they haven't been able to get. They've moved the ball efficiently, but they haven't had those chunk plays. That's one of the differences of this ball game.
And CJ has had multiple of them. You go back to the very first play from scrimmage, Aiden Lowry taking a run 60 yards literally from his own 20 to the opponent's 20. Lowry capped off that drive with a touchdown. He's also found the end zone two more times. Stacy and Ringer have each found the end zone once. That accounts for the 5 Eagle touchdowns. Austin Rickard has the lone touchdown on a 1-yard run for Bishop Fenwick. Gain of 4 on the play means it's 2nd and 6 from the 43-yard line.
I mean, the way Chaminade has moved the ball tonight, you know, and they've had chunk yardages, you don't count them out. You think they can score from anywhere, even though it's not a lot of time to go in the game. A minute and a half, only 41 seconds and a half.
Rickard, quick throw over the middle. That pass is caught, and Kaufman able to hang on to the ball. That's good for a Fenwick first down presented by Bathmasters. Again, it moves the Falcons also past the 50 into CJ territory to the 44-yard line. Quick tempo, Rickard throwing to his right. That pass complete. That's good for another Fenwick first down.
And he got out of bounds.
Schaefer Janik on the reception. That stops the clock with 28 seconds left.
And Fenwick said they didn't want to be classified as one-dimensional. You know, they said we will throw the ball. Even though we love to run the ball, we can throw it. And you got a big stud of a quarterback like Rickard. I see why.
And he is only a junior. Not a lot of seniors on either team, CJ or Fenwick. There will certainly be talent.
They're only going to get bigger and stronger as the years go by.
It will take the experience from this year, and it will benefit them next year, and for some players even in 2025 when it will be their senior year. First down presented by Bathmasters. Fenwick from the 30-yard line. Rickard throwing well beyond the reach of his intended man, Jordan Van. That was in and out of the hands of Kalian Russell. very nearly had an interception right in the middle of,
I think
three on his
both
jersey.
players want that back. Rickard wants that pass back. He's got a guy open, just overthrows him. Kelly, I know.
Very close to the fourth turnover. Well, actually 5 turnovers. It would have been 5 turnovers now because 4 drives have ended in turnovers, 1 on downs, the other 3 with either fumbles or interceptions.
I'm just teasing Kelly and Russell. You know, if I was a team, he's like, that's why you play defense.
2nd and 10. Rickard rolling to his left.
Oh, boy.
Pass tipped, nearly intercepted by Dorian Carter Jr. That's another tip. There was one earlier that was corralled in by Zion Woods for an interception. This one falls incomplete, but it's 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, the last 2 plays, Eagles, Chaminade Julienne Eagles have had their hands on the ball, and both of them was very interceptable.
Russell was on the coverage of the intended receiver. Looked like he was trying to find Jackson Kaufman there on that play. So 3rd down from the 30. Need to get to at least the 20-yard line. No timeouts, but 17 seconds to work with.
You know, if you're Chaminade, you got to just get them on the ground, alert the outside passes, but they can still throw the ball down the middle.
And Rickard quickly saw Kaufman over the middle, but that was just a little too much juice on the pass.
Yeah, because you can throw the ball in the middle of the field, and especially in high school. The clock's going to stop on the 1st down. But if you throw it in the middle, you better be sure you're going to get that 1st down so you can stop the clock and, you know, run the kill play on 1st down.
And that last play, for instance, it definitely looked like Kaufman had enough space to maneuver inside the 20 for a Fenwick 1st down, but Rickard saw the opening and maybe got a little overexcited. So now it's a 4th and 10 situation.
I'm still saying the field is still wide open because they get a 1st down, you can clock it, but alert, you can't get sacked here.
Well, Rickard tried the short pass intended for Kaufman, but over his head, so that's going to be a turnover on downs. That's back-to-back drives ending in turnovers on downs with 8 seconds left, and it remains 35-7.
When you roll it to your left, you got it's for a right-handed quarterback. That's a tough pass because you got to get set, get your shoulders square, and he never did. He kept his shoulders somewhat parallel to the line, to the sideline. You got to set your feet and make that touch pass, which is not easy. I know we see Patrick Mahomes do it all the time, but even he had to grow up and learn how to do it on the next level.
Well, Benjamin Lakes was providing pressure on that play, one of the linebackers, as Sullivan takes a knee, and the 1st half will come to an end. Not quite perfect for Chaminade Julienne, but very, very close to an immaculate 1st half on the part of the Eagles as they lead 35-7. 3 touchdowns from Aiden Lowry, 1 each from Ethan Stacy and Malachi Ringer. And Chaminade Julienne has the big lead at halftime, 35-7. Nigel Wright among those fired up. And we are about to go downfield to Tej Joshi, who is with Chaminade Julienne head coach Earl White. Tej?
Coach, a really dominant 1st half right there for your running especially. What was the key to getting all those yards on the ground?
Just execute. You know, we had a game last week where the team did a great job on us. We didn't execute, and we got penalties. And so we said we want to try to play as clean a game as possible this week and clean up all the mistakes.
Now, your opponents have moved the ball tonight, but they've turned the ball over a lot themselves. What's the key to make sure you keep the gas on the pedal in the 2nd half?
Just execute our scheme. It's a 4-quarter game, so, you know, we got 1 half to play. They get the ball first. We got to come out here with solid defense, get the ball back, and if we can, put the game away.
Coach, I appreciate your time. I'll let you get to the locker room. Thank you. Back to you guys up in the broadcast booth.
Thank you, Tej. You heard it from Earl White. Fenwick has made plays of their own, but only 7 points to show for it. 35-7 the lead for CJ. Halftime show is up next on Thursday Night Lights.
Welcome into our halftime show. The score is 35-7 here at halftime. CJ is leading, and of course, as we often do with our halftime shows, we want to take the opportunity to chat with many community leaders from both schools, starting with the principal here from Chaminade Julienne. Principal Muller, how you doing today?
Doing great.
course, we want to chat a little bit about what's going on over at the school. At CJ, of course, it is a big weekend for you guys. Homecoming festivities happening tonight, tomorrow, and into the weekend. Tell me, why is it a big deal for you, all the faculty, staff, and especially the students?
Well, we just love celebrating. We've had a great start to the school year. You know, homecoming week brings out the school spirit that we love. It's also a big year. We're celebrating the 50th anniversary of the unification of our 2 predecessor schools. So just a lot of good reasons to celebrate.
Let's talk about Chaminade Julienne a little bit in general here. I know a lot of people watching home right now knows that you guys are a staple, especially of the downtown Dayton community, the Miami Valley community at large. Let's hear from you, though. How would you describe the role that Chaminade Julienne plays here in the Dayton community?
Yeah, we embrace what's going on downtown. We just love being a part of the coming back of the school and being part of that. So it's from our students being able to do service downtown, and from embracing everything that we're doing with the community. We just love being part of the livelihood of Dayton.
Let's talk about your school overall here, though, the importance of academics, athletics, and your overall mission as a school. Can you give me some insight to what's most important to you guys?
Yeah, so we love having that diverse educational experience. Our hashtag this year, our theme for the year is All Are Welcome CJ, and that just embodies everything that we try to do, from the whole rounded student about athletics, performing arts, got our halftime show behind us. We just love our students getting involved and really having that full high school experience.
Well, let's talk about what's happening behind us right now. Like I said, it's a big weekend for you guys with homecoming. I know we're going to see a little bit about what's happening right behind us here. Give me some insight to what we're seeing right here on the field right now.
Yeah, so this is our homecoming weekend. So we have our dance Saturday nights, and we do a full week of Spirit Week themes. Really kind of we call it family spirit. We embrace that. So we're having that happen, and then our Eagle Pride band, which was growing and growing each year, is getting bigger and better, and so we love seeing them at halftime every game.
So much great community stuff here happening with the team over at Chaminade Julienne. Last thing before we go, if anybody wants to pay more attention to the sports, the fall sports happening over at CJ, what should we circle on our calendar? What's something else that we should definitely be paying attention to?
Yeah, we got a couple more weeks of football season, but we got other great sports doing great things. Our men's and women's soccer program are really hitting their stride this year, and so there's a couple of great GCL matchups coming up. So come out to Roger Glass Stadium and support the Eagles.
Certainly some great stuff coming up. And a little bit later in our halftime show, we're going to get you a preview of the Chaminade Julienne basketball season, which is coming soon. Principal, it was a pleasure chatting with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Of
Pleasure.
course, everybody remember the score here is 35-7 at halftime. Chaminade Julienne is leading. We're going to continue our halftime show. That's after this coming quick commercial break.
The Halftime Report is sponsored by Wright & Schulte.
Welcome back to our halftime show. One more time, the score is 35-7. Chaminade Julienne is leading. Of course, we want to talk to one of our lead sponsors who makes this broadcast happen, Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. We've been chatting with them throughout the season, and of course, tell us a bit about why you and your team are so proud to help us make this broadcast happen, to highlight all these student athletes.
Absolutely. I mean, they work hard over the summer, especially these seniors. It's their last go around, so happy to put a spotlight on Thursday night.
Of course, the big thing we want to highlight is what's new right now with football season with the team over at Lee's. I know you guys got a Buckeye box.
That's right, Buckeye box compliments of Keith Byers up there in the broadcast booth. Comes with 4 strips, potato wedges, and 2 sauces, available all football season, so come out and get yours.
You mentioned the broadcast booth. We're going to be up there after this commercial break.
The Halftime Report has been sponsored by Wright & Schulte.
Welcome back to Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken Thursday Night Lights, presented by Cincinnati Area Toyota Dealers. 35-7, Chaminade Julienne leading Bishop Fenwick in this Week 7 GCL contest. Matt Digby, Keith Byers, Tage Joshi, and our crew greeting you from Roger Glass Stadium. This kickoff presented by Wright & Schulte. It will be CJ kicking off to Fenwick. It's going to be taken on a hop by Schaefer Janek, quickly out past the 30, tiptoeing along the sideline, and eventually shoved out of bounds at the 35-yard line. So Fenwick will have the ball to start the second half, excuse me. And Fenwick, they've had promising drives. Each of their drives has gone past the 50-yard line. but they only have the one touchdown to show for it. More often than not, their touchdowns have ended in turnovers.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure that was the theme at the halftime speech was, guys, can we finish drives off? You know, the first 3 times they had the ball, they moved it extremely well, and unfortunately they turned it over. And then right before the half, they had a drive going and just ran out of time.
So Austin Rickert will line up under center. Almost a movement. Jackson Kaufman trying to shift from the left side to the right side. And now we've got early movement.
Some of that movement is by design. That little quick short motion that the wingback does. And they try to get the defense to flinch. I don't know what happened on this one, though. Some kind of equipment issue.
Now the Fenwick team heading over to the sideline, or at least Rickert calling for the sideline. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the first half stats. Look at all the rushing for Chaminade Julienne, 330 yards. Bishop Fenwick has been a little bit more equal. They've been heavy rushers, but they've also had passing. But those 3 turnovers resulting in
the turnover for one Chaminade is the one time they tried to throw the ball. The result of that ill-advised pass.
So 1st and 10. We're ready to resume play. This is Adam Rucker up the middle. A gain of about 1. We'll bring up 2nd and 9. That was Michon Stevens on the stop, number 52.
Well, in the first half, we saw a lot of Chaminade Julienne's offensive line just taking over the trenches and the line of scrimmage. Let's see if this Fenwick can start the second half, if their offensive line can get it done.
You did see it was not a completely perfect first half for CJ. They did have the 1 interception, but also 5 penalties on their end that Earl White has said they want to correct, not just tonight.
They're all correctable penalties. There's a double handoff here.
Double handoff to Jackson Kaufman, good for about a 2-yard gain, but it still brings up 3rd down, and it will be 7 upcoming from the 38-yard line.
You know, Austin Rickert has shown he can throw that football, given the opportunity to throw it.
That last drive before the half, they were methodical, moving downfield, and really that's the first time we've really seen Rickert settle into a passing rhythm, but it was a 4th down situation. He got a little overexcited seeing his open man and just overthrew him. On 3rd down and 7, hit as he throws, but Schaefer Janik makes the catch,
get him on the ground.
breaks a tackle inside the 40. 1 man to beat, but Schaefer Janik into the end zone for a Fenwick touchdown.
That was the chunk plays that they were looking for, that they needed. Looked like they may get them for excessive celebration, seeing a late flag there. But that's what they were looking, that's what was lacking in the first half. They had long, methodical drives that they didn't finish them, and they didn't have any chunk plays. This time they have a short drive, but they got a chunky play for the touchdown. There's a flag down, but I think that's a dead ball penalty. I don't think it's going to affect the touchdown.
It did come out well after the play, but it should not negate what I believe is a 62-yard touchdown pass, as the officials are
If they want to get back into this game, they need big plays like that to get in the end zone in less than a minute and a half off the game clock.
They need a touchdown, and now they'll need a stop as well upcoming for CJ. Here's Chet Roberts with the call.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike, number 14 on the offense. That penalty be assessed on the kickoff. Extra point attempt.
Well, we saw a similar situation after CJ's very first touchdown of the night. Aiden Lowry was given the flag for unsportsmanlike conduct, or personal foul.
Excessive celebration is a penalty, I suppose.
By the way, we can see that's Mark Mueller, the Bishop Fenwick head coach, has arrived. So extra point is good. So Mark Mueller, he is at the stadium after his family commitments, and he is certainly delighted to see Bishop Fenwick go down the field in 90 seconds to score and trim the deficit to 21 points. Do we have a comeback on the cards? CJ's first drive of the second half after the break on Thursday Night Lights. We've played 87 seconds of the third quarter at Roger Glass Stadium, and Bishop Fenwick had the ball to start. They quickly go downfield, and a long touchdown pass from Austin Rickard to Schaefer Janik, and that has made it a 35-14 ball game. That is Fenwick head coach Mark Mueller. He missed the first half because he was traveling to Roger Glass Stadium after attending the senior night festivities for his daughter. She plays high school soccer, and their festivities were tonight. But the three-play, 65-yard drive capped off with a 62-yard pass to Schaefer Janik. It was a much needed start to this to the second half for Bishop Fenwick.
Like I said, Mark Mueller's since he's been at the game, scored 7-0.
It is.
But unfortunately, we got to count the score of the first half. But it's a game of two halves. They don't give anything away at halftime, so you leave locker room saying the score 0-0, whether you're up or down.
This kickoff presented by Wright and Schulte, and Derek Morris is going for the onside kick. And Chaminade Julienne not fooled. They were able to recover.
It didn't quite go 10 yards, but it was close.
Well, it did make contact with Colin Cadle before the 10 yards, but Cadle was able to react quickly and record the ball. So that will give Chaminade Julienne a short field to work with as they try to regain momentum. Here's one more look at the touchdown. It looked like a button hook, and Janik able to break the tackle of Kayleon Russell.
You got to get him on the ground. He went for he was in between, going for the interception or making a stand back for the tackle, and he didn't do either one. So I don't mind you making a bad decision. Just make a decisive decision, and he didn't do either one that time. Indecision hurts you more so than a bad or a good decision. Indecision is the worst.
So 10:31 to go in the third, and we've got a flag before the snap.
No, they don't want that monster to come back. You know, those penalties that they talked about all week long.
Ball start. Number 1 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
By my count, I think that's their fifth. That's their sixth. Okay,
yeah,
they had 5 in the first half. So that's number 6 now. You know, that's not acceptable in the second half of the season. You understand it somewhat the first 2, maybe 3 weeks of the season, but now at week 7, you can't have those movement penalties anymore.
It's a pitch to Aiden Lowry, who has 3 touchdowns, and he's able to get some of the yards back from the penalty, but it will still bring up 2nd and long.
But you don't want to give away your momentum that you had, so you worked so hard to build that lead in the first half. You know, so you have a tendency sometimes to relax at halftime, say, we got them, no problem. We don't have to listen to the coaches as closely anymore. No, it's a 48-minute battle. The only thing that Chaminade did was win the first half. Now you got to go win the game. You got to win 2 halves.
Under 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. This is Chaminade Julienne's first drive of the second half after Fenwick. They had lost the coin toss. CJ1 opted to receive. And now a double handoff. Malachi Ringer to Ethan Stacy. Quickly to the 30-yard line. That's where they were marking with forward progress, but it will still mean 3rd and long.
I mean, I understand what Chaminade is doing. You know, they're trying to slow the amount of possessions. I said that in the first half.
Yeah.
It was why it was important. But so they want to eat clock. But you don't want to use your timing and rhythm at the event of trying to get time off the clock. You still play your normal tempo and get first downs, and you can hear the crowd being somewhat animated. You know, that's just not the tempo they play with in the first half. You can't come out and be a team with 2 halves. Don't worry about the final score right now. Just continue to play your game that built you that 35-point lead.
3rd down and 7. They need to reach the 23. Lowry quickly to the 25. He spins to about the 21. So that will be a first down pickup for Aiden Lowry. That first down presented by Arby's.
I mean, now that works. Every first down that they get going forward is going to be as good as another 2 to 3 minutes off the game clock.
And the Eagles are just outside the red zone. Not by much.
So I don't think they're going to snap the ball until it's probably less than 8 to 10 seconds on the game clock. That's how you drain this clock, even in the third quarter. You don't wait till the fourth quarter, but you still need to keep some kind of semblance of tempo. So now we're under 10 seconds to go in the play clock.
Sullivan on the handoff to the fullback, Nigel Wright. He's able to push his way forward inside the 15. And that ends up being about a 6.5, 7-yard gain.
Nigel Wright is a load. Does the first guy ever stop him?
Nope.
Never. And he doesn't. He always falls forward. You don't see him falling backward. You know, he gets that momentum, that body. Bring help when you come to get him.
And there is a timeout on the field as there is a Falcons player being attended to. The run from right, moving Chaminade Julienne into the Donato's delivery zone. Donato's Pizza, a great call for after the game. Order online for pickup or delivery at donatos.com. Every piece is important. We'll take a quick break. 2nd down and 4 coming up for Chaminade Julienne. They lead 35-14 on Thursday Night Lights. We can report that the Bishop Fenwick player that was needing medical assistance has been able to get to the sideline, and that's been a good thing. No serious injuries. In fact, we've seen a couple players that did have to leave the field for at least a play, but they've been able to return to the field of play. But 2nd down and 4 for Chaminade Julienne. They are at the 14-yard line. They were successful on all drives except one ended in a turnover, and then they did have a possession. They took the knee to run out the remainder of the first half clock. But this is Nigel Wright quickly inside the 10. That's going to be good for a CJ first down presented by Arby's. And that's going to bring up 1st and goal for the Eagles.
You know, I don't think the coach is really concerned about who scores a touchdown as much as, you know, scoring, your team scoring touchdown. But all the backs have scored tonight except Nigel Wright. So I think he may be aware that maybe you hand that ball out to your big fullback, who's had some chunk runs today and been just as effective as a blocker as that offensive line.
Aiden Lowry has 3 touchdowns. Ethan Stacy and Malachi Ringer have 1 each. Wright has done a lot of yardage gaining. And this is Ethan Stacy around the left side, quickly inside for a touchdown. Ethan Stacy from 7 yards out, and that touchdown presented by Donato's. That's an important response for Chaminade Julienne after Fenwick went down the field quickly on their first drive of the second half.
I tell you, that deception really, you know, is effective when it's going well, especially when you have a lead like they have. Offensive line is playing very well. I mean, it's hard to find the football other than, you know, you're trying to read your keys, but you have a tendency as a defensive player to want to look in that backfield and chase the ball. So a lot of times you're running into blocks instead of just reading your keys and letting the offense come to you, which is counterintuitive to your thinking. When you're the away backside of point of attack, you want to do some running the football, but you have to stay at home and wait for the football to come to you. With all the deception and sleight of hand that they do in that backfield.
Well, here's a look at the scoring summary presented by Rand Associates. 6 plays, 67 yards. It ends on an 8-yard touchdown run by Ethan Stacy. He had a scamper of 15 yards back in the first quarter, and now 8 yards in the third, as Patrick Kiefer is currently needing medical help following the play. The trainers are on the field, and here's another look at that touchdown presented by Toyota. It was a cutback after a sweep around the left side, and that's been one of the big points for CJ. They were just able to get to the places where the Fenwick defenders weren't, and they were able to get there quickly.
That was Elijah Berman on that block that's really sprung at big number 55.
94 yards for Stacy, so he is closing in on 100 for the game, and I have to think Aiden Lowry is top the 100-yard marker.
He has to be over 100 already. He started off with that big 60-plus yard run. What a beautiful night for football. Rain this afternoon, but tonight is just awesome.
We had some drops this morning. We had a little bit right around 6 o'clock as they were opening the gates to let fans in, but the fans were not deterred, either from the Chaminade Julienne community or the Bishop Fenwick community, making the drive up 75-35 to Roger Glass Stadium.
It's Patrick Kiefer there.
Yeah, Patrick Kiefer is on his feet. As there's another look at Stacy, who now has 2 touchdowns, and there's the 3-touchdown man right now, Aiden Lowry, both of them juniors. We spoke with Stacy yesterday. He said he originally, when he first started playing football, it was more of a safety, but you mentioned earlier in the first half, he said he loves the contact. That's why he shifted more to a running back.
Oh, yes. He doesn't want to play defense. He just wants to just score touchdowns and, you know, doesn't mind the contact, and he loves the game. I mean, you could just, you know, all the running backs, you talk to them, you could just feel the love of this sport. Win game nights, like like tonight makes you want to love it even more.
Elena Papalios is now 6 for 6 on extra points, and it is back to a 28-point lead for the Eagles, 42-14, with 7:16 to go in the third quarter. Both teams have had the ball once, and both teams have found the end zone once in this third quarter, as the CJ Eagle student section in the whiteout theme, celebrating homecoming, and also the fact that this is a big year for the school. It's been 50 years this year since the unification of Chaminade High School and Julienne High School, forming to form one school.
Oh, that was good. Chaminade used to be all men, all boys, and Julienne was all girls. And it came together, so now you get to take. I remember that, though. I was a youngster at that time, 1973. Wow, I was 10 years old. I have a birthday coming up, by the way.
Oh. Happy
it's
early
coming
birthday
up
to
in
Keith.
October.
Yep.
October 14th. I turned a different decade.
Oh, really?
Yes. I'll be a different decade. I'm enjoying these last couple of weeks in my 50s.
Okay.
My, does time fly?
Well, this kickoff presented by Wright and Schulte. It's sent by Isaac Sullivan toward the near corner. This is Schaefer Janik, who had the touchdown reception just a few minutes ago. There is a flag, but Janik still on his feet, eventually wrestled down at the Falcon 36-yard line.
Yes, Janik is strong. It had to be about 3 CJ defenders on him. He was still carrying him.
Block in the back. Number 10 on the receiving team. Number 3 on the receiving team. 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
So that will negate what was a promising return on the part of Janik. And here's another look at the return. Janik able to get to about the 36, but because of the marking of the ball, that's going to set Fenwick way back.
And my coaches used to tell me, if you can see his number, don't hit it. If you can see the back of his back, don't push it. It's not worth it.
1st and 10 from the 22-yard line. So the Falcons 1 for 1 on drives ending in touchdowns the second half. Rickert with a screen pass complete to Jordan
It's
Fan.
another first down.
And he is quickly out past the 30 to the 31-yard line. It is indeed a good pickup for the Falcon offense. And it's a first down presented by Arby's.
Yeah, they need some chunk yardage. They got to move fast now. Even though it's the third quarter, they have to go in hurry-up mode because it's all about touchdowns and possessions. They have to score here on out. At some point, they have to stop Chaminade on offense and go get a turnover. But that's a moot point if you don't put points on the board.
Adam Rucker had the carry. He got about 5 yards, and you saw his action very quick to get up and try to get another play off, and that's what Fenwick is indeed doing with a more quicker tempo.
Maybe because the Chaminade defense sleeping a little bit.
Rickert over the middle, pass intended for Kaufman, and he got a hand to it, but bats it down indirectly, incomplete. So it's 3rd down and 5, but it does stop the clock with 6:32 left in the third.
Well, that gives them a chance to huddle, catch your breath, and make sure you get the play you want called on 3rd down.
See the awareness from Colin Cadle. He was tracking Kaufman, but made sure to avoid contact, avoid drawing a penalty. Again, penalties have really been the only thing seriously affecting Chaminade Julienne in a negative way tonight.
They're trying to get Chaminade to jump outside. They've jumped outsides a lot on 3rd down tonight. Way too many times for Coach White.
On 3rd down, a late handoff to Rucker, and
Ball's loose.
Now the ball is officially loose, and in fact, Kaufman recovered where he
Could
recovers.
he have fumbled for a 1st down?
That is very possible. Well, you saw one CJ defender signaling fumble and an Eagle recovery, and then we saw the ball came loose blatantly ourselves. Adam Rucker, yep, there the ball came loose.
Yes, indeed.
And then it was number 22 for Chaminade Julienne. William Barber nearly had the recovery.
Wow.
Eventually it falls to
I
Spencer
think that's just the way they drew that up. Coach brought that one out the playbook.
So it is a Fenwick first down presented by Arby's, and a screen pass here to Jackson Kaufman. He's quickly inside the 40. That will move the chains for another Falcon first down presented by Arby's. So both offenses starting with
They're getting their
momentum
chunk yardage
this first
back.
part of the second half.
Yeah, this is a different Fenwick, offense we're seeing in the second half than what we've seen in the first half. First half, they was more run dominated, but they were moving the ball. Both offenses they've used tonight have been effective. They just haven't been able to finish off these drives. You just think if they'd have just finished off 2 of the 3 drives in the first half, you know, that's 14 points right there. It'd be a little different ball game. But there's plenty of time to play.
There's still a quarter and a half to go here, although it is a 28-point margin.
He's going deep.
Ricker going
He's
deep.
got a guy.
Intended for Kaiser, but broken up by Kaleon Russell. Got hands to it, nearly had the interception. It will bring up 2nd down and 10.
I tell you, I mean, I've seen some things out of this Fenwick offense that I see why you can't just make them a wing T offense if they're going to be a run-dominant team. They can throw it and run it. A fine play by Russell. I know he went to come down with it.
Again, Kaiser was the intended target, but the ball looked a little underthrown. More likely that it was going to be caught by Russell. 2nd and 10 from the 37. Out to Van, who's quickly met not long after he caught the ball, tried to cut back in, and he may have actually lost a yard on the play, so it'll be 3rd and 11.
That was excellent defense by Chaminade at that time. You know, just the way Coach draws it up. But you're Fenwick, you're in 2-down territory. You're going to go for it on 4th down outside of a massive loss.
This pass complete, and not enough for a 1st down, but Janik on the reception. It is going to be 4th and, I believe, 3 or 4, depending on where they spot the ball. 4th and 2, actually, from the 29-yard line. No question at this point, go for it.
No question at all. No question. You have to go for it. Well, that's his 4th and forever when you may have to punt, but from down here, possessions are more important than field position. You can't worry about field position right now.
On 4th down, a handoff up the middle to Rucker. They did convert a 4th down in the first half, but they also have multiple turnovers on downs.
It's going to be close.
Looking at the spot, he may have just gotten enough. It will all depend on the spot.
Here comes that white hat. He's going to make the final call. He gives him.
And no need for measurement. Chet Roberts signaling it is a 4th down conversion for Fenwick. That's a 1st down presented by Arby's, and the drive continues for the Falcons.
The home fans did not like that one. I think it could have went either way. It's a coin flip. Let me say, they don't bring out the chains too often in high school football.
Ball now at the 27-yard line, rather. Rickert alone in the shotgun, fires in and out of the hands of Van. It was Colin Cadle on the coverage defensively for Chaminade Julienne, brings up 2nd down.
Yeah, when you throw the ball in the middle right there, as a receiver, I want that ball down. I don't like my ribs exposed like that. That ball's kind of high.
Cadle, who had an interception on the Falcons' first drive of the night, and that directly led to a CJ touchdown. Rickert. Again, in and out of the hands. Should have been picked off from the standpoint of Kaleon Russell. He's had 2 of those this drive alone.
That was surprising.
But it's still an incomplete pass, and it's 3rd down and 10.
Kaleon Russell got a little upset after the drop. Took his helmet off. That could have been a penalty.
Looked like some miscommunication on the part of Rickert and the intended receiver, A.J. Kaiser. Kaiser was cutting toward the sideline, and Rickert's pass was more inside. So 3rd down and 10. We do have a stoppage of play.
Timeout. CJ. First timeout of the half.
So the Eagles calling their first timeout with 4:41 left in the 3rd quarter. Again, this is the 3rd drive total of the 2nd half. A bit more drawn out as Fenwick, they wasted little time going downfield. In the meantime, we still have 3 more weeks to go of Thursday Night Lights. Next week, we will be in Clark County, the town of Enon, where the Green and Knights host the Catholic Central Irish from Springfield. You can watch the game over the air channel 22.3, MyTV Dayton. That's channel 24 on Spectrum. We'll also have the game streaming live on Dayton247now.com and on our Facebook page, Dayton 24/7 Now. That is an Ohio Heritage Conference matchup. The Springfield Catholic Central Irish and the Greenon Knights. We will be headed to Clark County on Thursday, October 5th.
How about that? I played against Enon when I was in Little League Baseball.
Yep.
12, 13 years old.
We were making
Played small star teams against them.
We were making the schedule. We were wanting to make sure as many counties in our area got represented, and we'll be making the trip to Clark County, just shy of Springfield, next Thursday night, October 5th. 3rd down and 10 here. Rickert looking over the middle. That pass again in and out of the hands of Colin Cadle. That's 3 straight passes that C.J. Wilfield should have been interceptions, but it's 4th down.
And we got a holding call coming up. Interesting if you're going to take this penalty and go to 4th down and 10 or back them all the way up.
That's a big question for Earl White because, again, if they decline it, it's
Holding.
4th and 10.
Offense, number 76. 10-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
It's always tricky what to do in those situations. You want to go to 4th down, but I think I would definitely agree with Coach White. This is hard. That's why he gets paid the big bucks to make that decision. You have to get a feel for your team. Instead of it even 3rd and 4th and 10, you're gonna go 3rd and 20.
Earl White bringing his experience from having coached at multiple Dayton public schools throughout the years. This only his 2nd season at Chaminade Julienne this year.
Sure, the Dayton public schools headed to lose a coach like Coach White. The Chaminade's happy.
3rd down and 20. They need to get to the 17-yard line to keep the drive going. Ricker quickly finds himself under pressure, and his pass is low and short, intended for Van. That brings up 4th down. And at this point,
I think you may have to punt it, yeah. Yeah, there's no, I said the only time you go for it on 4th down, you're in a hurry up. Is you don't go for it when it's 4th and forever. This is 4th and forever. It's hard to pick these up unless you get a defensive penalty, which would result in a 1st down. To give you another chance, but I figure what do you have to lose? If they punt it, you're only gaining like 14 yards, 17 yards. And you punt it in the end zone, they get the ball to 20.
Well, it does look like they're in a position, a formation that they're going to go for it on 4th and 20, and indeed, Rickert
a blitzer.
Gets by 1 man, by 2, and fires in and out of the hands of Daniel Swift. A gamble that very nearly paid off, but this time, instead of in and out of the hands of a defender, it's in and out of the hands of a receiver. So Chaminade Julienne's defense with another turnover on downs. The 3rd time they've been able to force Fenwick to turn the ball over on downs.
That was a good job of Austin Rickert stepping up in the pocket on the run, rolling to his left, finds a guy open. And unfortunately, he let the ball go by his eyes.
Again, Daniel Swift, the intended receiver.
Daniel Swift, yeah.
So Chaminade takes over at their own 37-yard line. 4:25 to go in the 3rd quarter. This is a handoff to Nigel Wright, quickly up to the 40-yard line, excuse me. Again, CJ acting a little bit more deliberately. They were very quick tempo, run heavy, and they've still been run heavy. Again, they've only attempted, I think, the 1 pass all game, and that resulted in an interception.
At this point, I don't think we're going to see any more passes out of Chaminade. If we do, we would be totally surprised. The clock is their friend right now, so they're going to use it.
Under 10 left on the shot clock. It's another double handoff. Stacy to Malachi Ringer. And he quickly broke a tackle, got out to the 46-yard line, and maybe even eked out another extra yard. Will bring up 3rd and short.
Malachi runs the ball hard, too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just one big muscle. He's built low center of gravity. He's got big arms, thick thighs, and, and runs with attitude. Yeah, I mean, again, the unsung heroes of this game is that offensive line.
They've been paving the way from the very first play of scrimmage. Lowry, a 60-yard run down the field, setting up the opening touchdown. And this is Nigel Wright on 3rd and 1. Quickly has the first down and quickly moving past midfield to the Falcon 49-yard line. That's a first down carry for the Eagle offense, and it's presented by Arby's.
I don't think I'm not sure if Nigel Wright knows who Larry Zonk is, but he needs to, YouTube him.
Yep.
He is a Super Bowl MVP, just hard to bring down. That's Nigel Wright. He is a load. When he gets in space, he'd be even more dangerous once he gets that thumb healed. But he's a tough guy.
On a reverse, Aiden Lowry, he's met for a short loss, and that's something we haven't seen a ton of
Not very
throughout
much.
the night. That was the stop made by Cameron Hunter. It's going to bring up 2nd and long.
The official's timeout.
And injured Falcon on the play. So 42-14, it was 35-7 at halftime. Both the Falcons and the Eagles quickly marched downfield, scoring touchdowns. CJ did have a short field to work with because Fenwick tried an onside kick that was recovered. But now it's been more drawn out of a drive. Fenwick's second drive, you just saw, resulting in a turnover on downs. They nearly had a couple interceptions on that play. But here's again a look at the full schedule. It's GCL tonight, then Ohio Heritage Conference taking center stage next Thursday. Week 9, we will be just up the road from where we are now in Riverside at Stebbins High School as they host Tippecanoe. And we close the season on October 19th at Welcome Stadium when Dunbar takes on Ponitz. Dunbar has a big game tomorrow night against Meadowdale, and both those teams off to strong starts
I'll be there
against
watching that
DPS
game.
competition.
Every chance I get to go back to Welcome Stadium, that's where I played my high school football at. I love to get back there and watch it. So I'll be there tomorrow night watching Dunbar and Meadowdale go at it. Because my alma mater closed when I graduated.
Yeah.
1982, Roth High School. If they were still in existence, I would be there on Friday night watching my Falcons. So that's what I said tonight. This game is for the birds.
Yep.
My birds.
That's exactly
I played for the Roth Falcons in high school and the Philadelphia Eagles in the professional. So this game is for the birds. And whoever wins tonight, I'll be happy because they're the birds.
If you had still been a student the year after Roth closed, where would you have attended?
I probably would have followed my coaches and everything over to Dunbar.
Okay, the coaches all went to Dunbar.
Yeah,
when
coaches,
Roth.
football coach, basketball coach, a lot of the faculty, they went there. Because Dunbar had never won those state championships or anything until Roth closed. I had to remind the Dunbar alumni that they have amnesia. Sometimes they got a lot of Roth High School talent that brought them those championships. That's right, I said it. Check the record. Dunbar has no championships prior to 1982 when the mighty Roth Falcons was ruling the roost.
Well, 2nd down and 9 as the clock is now under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. CJ again deliberately drawing out the clock. With the play clock is still just now reaching 10 seconds before Isaac Sullivan sets up under center.
Nigel Wright on the carry. He doesn't fall down easily.
One broken tackle. He's inside the 45, and forward progress should mark him down at the the 49-yard line to the 47.
Y'all better bring the whole team to get me down. He takes it personal.
It has been that kind of night for the CJ Eagles. Not just Wright, but that entire backfield. Ethan Stacy, Aiden Lowry, and Malachi Ringer, the three that have found the end zone tonight.
I love it. I love it when running back scores because they're so undervalued in the National Football League now. They try to overlook it, but the heart and soul of your team, you have to have that running back.
3rd down and 4 from the 43. And we're going to have a stoppage of play.
Coach White wants to make sure he gets the right play call.
CJ.
He doesn't want to take those timeouts in the locker room at the end of the game. They don't give you an extra for the following week, so he's going to use them.
Well, looking at the upcoming schedule for both teams, it's GCL competition to close out the regular season. Chaminade Julienne will be on the road in Week 8 when they go to Carroll. And then they have 2 home games to close out the regular season slate against Dayton and Alter. Always a fascinating rivalry. between the Eagles and the Knights. But first, week 9, they have a tough game against Dayton. And Dayton started GCL play 1-0 with their big win last week over Fenwick. But CJ right now ranks 7th in Division III Region 12. As it stands, they would host one playoff game. And they did host a playoff game last year. They were upset in the first round by Trotwood Madison. But CJ back at it, 4-2, officially 12 minutes and 55 seconds from moving to 5-2, assuming they hold on to this 28-point lead.
I'm sure Coach White is going to do everything he can to make sure they do. Nothing wrong with being conservative, but you give it all to Ethan Stacy, he runs to the first down.
Stacy does get to the 39, maybe to the 38, and that should be enough. Spot pending for a Chaminade Julienne first down as the clock is now under 45 seconds.
Oh my, are they going to move the chains? Here comes the white hat in. He makes final decision. He looks left, looks right.
For progress at first glance, looked like Stacy had enough, but Chet Roberts and his team may have seen something else.
No call yet? Are they going to bring the chains out for the first time all year?
At least on Thursday Night Lights.
They're going to bring them out on first chains. We're going to take a measurement.
We will indeed.
All righty, our very first one.
Week 7. So the line to gain was the 39. You look at the spot right now.
The CJ fans are like, wait a minute. Why are you measuring now? You didn't measure that last fourth down for Fenwick.
And from that angle, you clearly see short. Less than a foot, but still, or maybe about a foot, but still fourth down.
I'm going to take it easy on the ref tonight because the player and me want to come out. Okay, I'm trying to be quiet because I really saw forward progress was past the line of scrimmage. Okay, I had to say it.
So 4th and inches upcoming for Chaminade Julienne as we are inside the final minute of the third quarter. And Chaminade Julienne quickly lined up. They are not, Earl White with his instructions to not let that call affect CJ in a negative way. But a pitch to Malachi Ringer. He definitely has the first down now. They'll mark him at the 46-yard line, so that keeps the drive alive. It's a CJ first down presented by Arby's. Excuse me, Ethan Stacy had the carry, number 1.
Ethan Stacy's got to be close to creeping toward that 100-yard marker.
I think those last 2 plays were enough to put him over.
Should have got him there. That'll probably be the last play we see this quarter, since they're playing a 4-corner offense and stall offense right now.
There is about a 3-second gap, so there will be at least one more play here in the third quarter. Clock is at coming up on 18, but the play clock is at 12.
Yeah, they don't want this 5-yard penalty. He's had enough penalties for today.
Handoff up the middle right. He's met right at the line of scrimmage, actually maybe driven back for a loss, and that's how the third quarter will end. Both teams have a touchdown. Bishop Fenwick got the start to the third quarter that they needed, but CJ was able to answer right back, and they maintain a 28-point lead as we head to the fourth quarter of Thursday Night Lights. 42-14, CJ leads on homecoming night. Roger Glass Stadium, the site for Week 7 of Lee's Thursday Night Lights, presented by Cincinnati area Toyota dealer. Chaminade Julienne with the ball and a 42-14 lead. Matt Digby, Keith Byers, Tej Joshi, and our crew, thank you for making us a part of your Thursday evening, this final Thursday of September 2023. And a pitch to Aiden Lowry on the first play of the quarter. Lowry in for his 4th touchdown of the night from 36 yards. The junior into the end zone for a touchdown presented by Donatos.
I'll tell you, he tiptoed down the sideline there. I wasn't sure if he was going to stay in bounds or not. The referee had his eyeball on it. But he ran like he wanted his 4th touchdown of the night. He was shot through that hole so fast.
Well, they had a turnover pickle that they were displaying in the first half. They haven't really used it at all the second half so far, but I'm sure there may or may not be something in the near future for celebrating touchdowns.
At this rate, they had to come up with something that let the student body come up with. It's homecoming night.
Milena Papalios with the extra point attempt. It is going to be ruled short, so it stays 48-14. But a great start to the fourth quarter, just like the first quarter. Aiden Lowry finding the end zone for his fourth touchdown of the night. And the Eagles lead 48-14. 11:23 to go in the fourth quarter. 4 touchdowns for that young man, the junior, Aiden Lowry, number 5 for Chaminade Julienne. And the Eagles with a 48-14 lead on Bishop Fenwick. They are officially just over 11 minutes away from their first GCL win of the season. This kickoff presented by Wright and Schulte. It's taken by Schaefer Janik. Quickly out to about the 30-yard line, pushed out of bounds around the 31-yard line.
I like Aiden Lowry. He's a good young kid, full of talent, full of personality. You know, he just came up to me yesterday out of nowhere. I just wanted to meet you. So I introduced myself to you. My name is Aiden Lowry. I play running back. I was like, you do play running? I said, okay, I'll be watching you tomorrow with 11 carries, 149 yards, 4 touchdowns. I think I know who Aiden Lowry is from here on out.
I think we do. I think we all do, and I think we also
a lot of coaches know who he is too.
Who's the right now favorite for player of the game, which we will have coming up in our superlatives after the conclusion of this game, and also the trophy presentation, which will be coming up momentarily. Looked like there was actually a flag on the play, which is why the ball has been moved up to the 45-yard line for Bishop Fenwick. And now they'll set up for 1st and 10. And in fact, they have made a change at quarterback. Now in the game is Brady Cole. You may have noticed the running clock rule is now in effect because the point difference is currently 30 or more after the first half. The running clock is in effect only except for timeouts or injuries. So right now the clock is running at 10:45 and counting in regulation time, and will continue to run unless Bishop Fenwick can get a touchdown on this drive, for instance. It would get the difference back to less than 30.
I think that is an excellent rule, by not just because you're not trying to embarrass anyone, but you cut down the injury factor.
And also the fact that
you're not trying to embarrass anybody or anything about running the score up.
There have been multiple changes, it looks like, to the Fenwick offense. You have Brady Cole now in at quarterback. You saw DJ Burning take the carry for a couple of yards. We'll bring up 3rd down and about 6. Here's a look at the TNL Champions Trophy presented by Rand Associates. One team will be receiving this trophy. It has more often than not this season been the home team. We did have Trotwood win on the road in week 4, and last week Miamisburg with that last-minute touchdown with 11 seconds left. But I believe those are the only 2 road teams to celebrate with the trophy after the game. On 3rd and 6, a misdirection, and quickly getting around one tackle was DJ Burning. He quickly gets inside the 45-yard line. That is enough for a Fenwick first down presented by Bathmasters.
Yeah, that was a nice, solid tackle there by the Chaminade defender, William Barber. Reminded me, look on his face. I remember Woody Hayes used to talk about when he'd come talk to the football team when I was there. Said, I've never seen a defensive player worth anything that can tackle somebody with a smile on his face. Have a grab, have an attitude. I love to see that out of the defensive players.
From the 43, one man in motion. This is a carry up the middle for the Falcons. It may be a short gain of about 1.5 yards. On the stop for Chaminade Julienne was number 55, Elijah Berman.
We're watching the tale of 2 different football teams right now. When Chaminade has the ball, they want to play slow. When Fenwick gets the ball, when you're down by over 30 points, you got to play a little bit more tempo and get it in and out faster. Even though you got some of your backup, you don't have your starting quarterback in the game right now, you still got to play at a faster tempo. Because the score goes under 30 points, it won't be on running clock anymore.
Now under 8:30 to go in regulation. This is a handoff to Gavin Timms, a freshman. He's been able to get a couple of yards these last 2 plays. It is still 3rd down and about 6 upcoming. But Fenwick has been moving the ball inside the 40. That's been the thing with Fenwick. I think all their drives, they've gotten past the 50. But it's a matter of how those drives have ended. Only 2 have ended in touchdowns. The rest have ended in turnovers or turnovers on downs.
Yeah, just haven't been able to just finish off drives. They've been moving it, like you said. And, I'm sure that'll be the theme that the coach will go over this week in practice. This is a good football team. But they just had too many, self-inflicted wounds in that first half, and it's been hard for them to overcome.
On 3rd and 6, a handoff to Burning. He's able to get inside the 35. It will bring up 4th and short. Maybe 1.5 to go. Well, this is Fenwick's final road game of the regular season. They started the season 4-0. They had a tough loss on the road at Mount Healthy last week, and then they were held to just a field goal at Dayton in week 6. But they are on the road for the final time tonight in the regular season. They have their last 3 games at home. McNicholas week 8, Alter week 9, and Carroll in week 10. As they go for it on 4th and 2, Brady Cole trying to catch CJ off guard, and he may have gotten the yard, but he needed maybe a little bit more. No, the referees are maybe indicating he got the first down on the keeper.
I think the CJ fans wanted to see a measurement for the 2nd time all year, but not so.
Yeah, no measurement here. It is a Fenwick first down presented by Bathmaster, so Cole with the conversion on the 2-yard keeper up the middle.
Well, Fenwick has 3 home games in this series, so this season isn't over. Still got a chance for the playoffs. It's great of the last 3 at home.
Cole rolling to his left. This pass complete to Sean Heberling, and he's going to be taken out of bounds close to the 25-yard line, so that's going to be a positive gain of about 5.
I mean, he broke a tackle there, spinning all around.
Sean Heberling, the sophomore, now getting a lot of action in the backfield, playing
time. Valuable
time.
Experience for them. You know, you get a chance to play some young guys, albeit in a blowout, but it's still experience. You're getting to play, you know, on the varsity under the lights. That's special.
Timeout. CJ, that's their 3rd and final timeout.
So Earl White calls his final timeout with just under 6 minutes to go. Bishop Fenwick on the move, trying to close the deficit to within 30 points. 48-14 on Thursday Night Lights. There you see the Bishop Fenwick offense continuing their drive with most of their 2nd-string team with 5:58 to go in regulation time. The Falcons trailing 48-14, but we mentioned they do have 3 home games to close out the regular season. McNicholas, Alter, and Carroll. And right now they are number 9 in the Region 16 rankings. Very much in control of their own destiny for a playoff spot in Region 16. And this might not help their cause, but if they can get a couple more wins, they are back in the conversation for a first-round home game minimum. As on 2nd down, Sean Heberling up the middle for a short gain.
I mean, I've seen enough out of this Fenwick team to know that the potential there and the potential, you know, to make a playoff run and go deep in the playoff is there. It's just Murphy's Law in that first half.
It was.
You know,
from
3
the very
times
first
they
play.
get it, turn it over 3 times after nice drives. You can't count on that to happen to this Fenwick team. I'm sure they'll make it. Didn't have your head coach the first half either. They're not done.
A handoff up the middle to DJ Burning. That's good for a Fenwick first down. Presented by Bathmasters. And the spot
the
is
clock
also
is still running, even though you got a first down.
And the spot is also inside the 20-yard line, so it means Fenwick has moved inside the Donato's delivery zone. Donato's Pizza, a great call for after the game. Order online for pickup or delivery at donatos.com. Every piece is important. Coming up on 5 minutes to go as the movement of the ball has actually been placed at the 13-yard line. Again, important to note, if Bishop Fenwick scores here, that brings the deficit to under 30 points. That means the running clock would go out of effect for the time being. On first down and end around, this is Hudson Cricky with the carry.
I mean, this is good. You know, Thursday Night Lights, you have a lead. You know, Coach White is making a lot of, you know, substitutions. So he's getting an opportunity for him to get a lot of guys to play, you know, under the bright lights. And you're the game of the week. You're on television. You can tell all your family across the country, hey, go to YouTube and pull up our, you know, URL, and you get a chance to see your cousin or your nephew.
We greet those watching on our website, Dayton247now.com.
Get the niece.
Also on Facebook. 3 more weeks of Thursday Night Lights action to come your way from the Miami Valley as Brady Cole on the keeper. He finds the corner, and that's a Fenwick touchdown presented by Donato's.
He fooled me. He fooled the cameras. He fooled the Chaminade Julienne. That was an excellent, you know, deception. Excellent keeper.
So that's 2 touchdowns on QB keepers for Fenwick. Austin Rickert had one in the first half, and now Brady Cole, the 6'3" junior finding the end zone from 15 yards out.
And the clock stops. We're under 30. Under 30-point lead.
And Cole actually racing back out to the huddle. Think Fenwick maybe thinking about going for 2 here. And they are.
I hope the receivers know. They had already broken the huddle. But he uses so many hand signals.
And a flag before the snap.
Dead ball. False start. Number 85 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. We'll retry the down.
So that moves the ball back to the 7-yard line instead of the 2. Still try for 2, Keith?
Yep. Every point matters. Every point matters. At this point, even if, I know that backs you up 5, instead of being on a 2.5-yard line, you're on the 7.5-yard line. Mm-hmm. Just give you an opportunity to just call a different play. Because you got to act like it's 4th down. You only get 1 shot at it.
Well, Cole throwing towards the corner, intended for number 85, but the pass was short. That was Landon Munafo, the 5'11" freshman, the intended recipient. But it remains a 28-point game at 48-20. Here's another look at the touchdown run. Again, Cole waiting for the opening, and one arrived up the right side, and he was able to outrace everyone to the end zone.
I mean, that was an excellent drive.
It was
an excellent drive. I mean, that's the Fenwick we was expecting to see in the first half. And we saw most of it except for the turnovers.
Except for the finishes, yeah, how those drives ended.
Yeah.
Scoring summary presented by Rand Associates, 12 plays, 55 yards. Again, Fenwick going with their second team offense on the field for that drive, but Brady Cole from 15 yards.
It's interesting to see what they'll do. They still have 3 timeouts if you're Fenwick.
Yeah.
Are you going to burn any of them trying to get the ball? Because Chaminade, CJ is going to play slow. They're not going to be in a hurry to snap the ball. So they're going to milk this clock as best they can.
Well, Fenwick has tried onside kicks throughout the night. They have not been successful, though. They actually did try an onside kick right after they scored a touchdown early in the 3rd quarter, but that was quickly recovered by CJ. But Derek Morris will send it away. This kickoff is presented by Wright and Schulte. It will occur with just under 4 minutes to go in the game. And it is high and deep. Will be taken from about the 8-yard line. This is Colin Cadle quickly out to the 20. Now, in fact, driven back and still on his feet.
He's got a wave of blockers there.
He's broken about 4 tackles on this play, and he's already out to the 40-yard line.
Still running.
Flag on the play. Cadle still in bounds and
face mask.
past the 50-yard line. Eventually, he's going to be taken down, but not before crossing the 50. We'll check the flag because the flag came while Cadle was still on his feet. So what a return.
Helmet.
We'll see if it stands, though, this long return from Colin Cadle.
There's usually a block in the back or a holding call when you see that flag.
Holding on the receiving team, number 22. 10-yard penalty. 1st down, CJ.
There's a penalty on the play, but that still does not take away, the run return, that Grant Yingling had, no, Colin Cadle had.
Colin Cadle, yep.
On the return.
There it is.
I think that was tackling by William Barber. He had him around his shoulder pad and trying to turn his whole body.
So what was a long return until the penalty, it moved the ball back to the CJ 35-yard line, and now the Eagles are going to go with their second team offense as they run up the middle, a quick gain of about 3.5 yards. That was Nigel Hertz on the carry, number 26. And now we've got a timeout for injury. 3:18 to go in the 4th quarter. Again, we've mentioned it. Chaminade Julienne, they have one more road game coming up next week in the regular season. They are at Carroll, and then they close out the season home against Dayton and Alter. They're 7th right now in Region 12. They stand to likely move up in those rankings as they will move to 5-2 overall, 1-1 in the GCL.
That should be a good game between them and Carroll. They see each other every year. They know each other.
Yep.
It's a matter of who's going to execute who.
Carroll, they had a bright start, ran into a couple of roadblocks the last couple of weeks. They had a tough loss on the road against Alter this past week, so they're eager to get back in the win column. And also looking at Fenwick's remaining schedule again. This is their last regular season road game. They have 3 home games the last 3 weeks of the regular season: McNicholas, Alter, and Carroll. Right now they're number 9 in Region 16, which would mean a road game in the first round. But if they can get a couple wins in those final weeks, they could rise back up into the top 8, back into the situation where they would host at least one game in the playoffs.
You know, my whole career, I never finished three home games in a row. Unless you count Welcome Stadium, where we played all our games home
That's
anyway.
true, yep.
You know, our non-conference was usually over by the 3rd game of the season or 4th game. And we played, just a matter of which sideline you're going to be in at Welcome Stadium.
Exactly, yeah.
And the visitors are the home sideline.
I remember my high school, when I was there, one year we opened with 2 straight home games, but I don't think we ever had 3 straight to close a regular season.
You don't recall that either, huh? They just quirk in scheduling.
Clock is running because it was a run up the middle. And the injured player for Fenwick has made his way to the sideline, thankfully.
Ball's on the ground.
A loose
Ball's
Bramble.
on the ground.
Ball actually went
He
forward
never
several
had to
yards.
handle.
So if CJ recovers, it would be a gain, but we'll see what the spot is. It looks like indeed CJ was able to recover. So from 2nd and 7, it goes forward a couple yards. It's really 3rd down and about 4, I would think, 3rd down and 5. We have Sean Flagg, the freshman, in the game now at quarterback. He's taken over from Isaac Sullivan, the sophomore. Getting a lot of freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. Very few seniors on either team. As 3rd down and 4.
He's fighting for the first down. Up a little short.
Tristan McDonald Jr. will get a gain of about 2. It will still be 4th and a 2 from the 43-yard line.
Yeah, we asked a question during the break. Has anybody punted?
I don't think we've seen a punt tonight.
Who said no? I think, are we going to see one now? I don't see the punter on the field.
2 yards to go to keep the game, to keep the drive going. I don't think CJ has faced a 4th down situation tonight. I don't think, definitely not in the second half.
No.
I don't think they faced one in the first half either.
I think we got a penalty. I think that's on Middletown. He's in the neutral zone infraction. Unless they said offense made him jump.
Dead ball. Snap infraction on the offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
That will back him up 5 yards to 4th and 7.
That's why the players are looking at the ball. That's where the center squeezes the ball a little hard, which constitutes a snap infraction.
Clock now under 2 minutes. It's a pitch out to McDonald. He got back to the original line of scrimmage, but he's going to be stopped short of the line to gain. So Fenwick will record a turnover on downs as the clock stops with 1:43 to go on the change of possession. So 28 points with only 103 seconds left, but if Fenwick can get a touchdown here, their last drive, they were able to find the end zone.
Yes, they were. I mean, if CJ gets a first down there, the game is over. They start bringing victory formation and just take a knee. But we are under 30 points. You know, the ball will stop on, incomplete passes and if you go out of bounds.
So back on the field is the Fenwick Falcon offense. And they're going with their 3rd quarterback of the night. It's a handoff to DJ Burning quickly to the 40, inside the 40. Going to be stopped inbound, so the clock will continue to run. Now coming up on 90 seconds, Vaughn Hawkins now under center for the Falcons, number 60.
Chaminade's got an opportunity to play a lot of their young players too. This varsity experience is really, really, really important.
So Chaminade Julienne will move to 5-2 on the season. They had 2 wins to open, then a loss to Bishop Hartley from Columbus. Then they got back on track with 2 wins, a tough loss last week on the road to McNicholas, and now they're going to move to 5-2 as we are officially under a minute to go.
Well, I said in pregame, this win, whoever wins this game, it's going to set you on a trajectory to finish your season on a high note. You're running toward that finish line with 3 weeks to go, and it would make a huge difference whoever wins this game. Well, I think all the sense, I think it's safe to say Chaminade is going to win this game. So they're going to, can they use this game to catapult them into greater success here in the 2023 season, and also with an opportunity, to win the conference title.
Well, they will move to 1-1. We'll wait to see the outcomes of the games scheduled for tomorrow. I believe Carroll and Alter, well, they played each other last week, so Alter, I believe, will play Dayton, and Carroll has McNicholas, unless I'm mistaken.
I truly enjoy these Thursdays because as a player, you win on Thursday, you get to watch what happens on Friday with knowing you've already taken care of your business with no remorse.
Here's Hudson Cricky around the left side with 10 seconds left, and it looks like that may be the final play of the game. And it is. The Fenwick players already lining up in formation to congratulate the Eagles on their victory. Chaminade Julienne moving to 5-2. They started the game with a 60-yard run down the field. That drive quickly ending in a touchdown, and that really set the tone for a 28-point win. And CJ is back in the win column. Earl White gets the Gatorade bath, and Chaminade Julienne putting themselves in position for another strong seed in the Region 12 playoffs. See the handshakes from Mark Mueller and Earl White. It will be a happy homecoming for the Eagles, and they will be celebrating shortly with the TNL trophy. We'll have that for you coming up after this break. 48-20 the final. Chaminade Julienne wins on week 7 of Thursday Night Lights. 2 wins and a loss, but Chaminade Julienne back in the win column, 48-20 as they move to 5-2 overall, 1-1 in the GCL, and the victorious Eagles are with Tej Joshi for the trophy presentation. Tej?
Coach, that's a huge win for you guys tonight on a homecoming weekend. Tell me, what was the key to getting all those points and all those yards?
It's just about one Eagle, baby. It's about us. About us and how hard the guys work. It was redemption from last week. The guys came together, played their hearts out, played hard, and they gave their fans a great victory.
Like you said, the fans were certainly having a good time out there. Talk to me about the seniors, the captains of this team. What's the key to bringing the whole team together?
They just work hard. They come prepared every day, and their spirit goes throughout the other team. And then, hey, we showed up tonight.
Coach, there's a lot of reasons to celebrate tonight. You guys got a big win. It's homecoming weekend, and I heard it's your birthday? Yeah! Oh, we're going to get to the celebrating. We got a cake up here, and we got the trophy. Here's the Thursday Night Lights Champions Trophy. Happy birthday, congratulations. Oh, yeah. All right, back to you guys up in the booth.
Not a bad birthday present for Earl White, the second-year head coach of Chaminade Julienne, as they celebrate with the TNL trophy. Sponsored by Rand Associates, 48-20 winners over Bishop Fenwick. It's been a good week of birthdays. My birthday was on Tuesday. Earl White's is tonight.
And my birthday's coming up in the middle of October.
Yours is coming up in a couple of, yeah.
Well, this is a perfect birthday present. A Thursday Night Lights game and a win makes it even better.
Time now for our superlatives. We're going to start with the drive of the game presented by Carroll Works Tire Company. This was the very first play from scrimmage. A pitch out to Aiden Lowry, quickly breaking tackles. It was the smart heads-up play of Schaefer Janik to prevent a touchdown, but it was a 60-yard run on the opening play from scrimmage. But that drive would set the tone for how the rest of the night would unfold. Lowry, the first of his 4 touchdowns when all was said and done. That put CJ up 7-0, and that success would continue from start to finish throughout the night. So that was drive of the game presented by Carroll Works Tire Company. Play of the game also presented by Carroll Works Tire Company. You saw the ball hit the ground. Lowry able to pick it up, prevent disaster, and only a heads-up play from Patrick Keever prevented a touchdown. But Aiden Lowry was just all over the place tonight for the Eagles in a good way.
I mean, he started the game off, like he couldn't wait. He was focused like a ball of energy. I felt it yesterday when we got a chance to talk to him in practice, and it carried over to tonight.
It definitely carried over to tonight, and now time for player of the game presented by Carroll Works Tire Company. It is indeed the junior running back, Aiden Lowry, about 150 yards of offense, 4 touchdowns, including this 60-yard scamper on the very first play from scrimmage. Aiden Lowry has had conversation with a couple of smaller Division III, Division II colleges. Not to speculate anything, but he may or may not be having conversations with a couple more colleges over the next couple of months.
I'm sure this is the word is going to get out about him. And, you know, this is going to make his futures already bright. It's going to make it even brighter, you know, over the next 12 to 16 months when more and more people find out about how good a football player he is.
Aiden Lowry, the player of the game, presented by Carroll Works Tire Company. As again, Chaminade Julienne moves to 5-2 overall, 1-1 in the GCL. They go on the road for their final regular season game next week at Carroll. Meanwhile, Bishop Fenwick looks to stop their now 3-game skid. They are 4-4 overall and 0-2 in the GCL. There you take a look at the final stats.
42 yards rushing.
All yards for CJ on the ground. They only attempted one pass. It ended in an interception. But again, penalties, that will be something to work on for both Earl White and Mark Mueller moving forward. 7 games down, 3 to go here on the 2023 edition of Lee's Thursday Night Lights. We've had some great games, and we're looking forward to 3 great more games.
I can't wait. I mean, we are picking winners, and if your game is on Thursday Night Lights, hey, I think both teams will be happy about it, and it's going to end up really good. So, great kudos tonight, and congratulations again to CJ, Chaminade Julienne.
Be sure to join us for Week 8 next week as Greenon takes on Springfield Catholic Central. For Keith Byers, Tage Joshi, and our crew, I'm Matt Digby. Good night from Dayton. This has been Thursday Night Lights.